Hey, Don here. Okay, well, let's see. Today I want to do another video on Fedora 25. I'm going to pick back up on the Fedora 25, Dell 1525 laptop that I put Fedora 25 on. There it is, up and running. I'll talk a little more about that and a little DNF. I kept going round and round with not being able to find things in DNF, and I finally figured that out. And the package manager DNF, and I've got it up and running, but hopefully I realized, well, I can show some of this stuff probably in VirtualBox. I downloaded some Fedora 26 images, and I put them on my little SD card and everything with the USB adapter, and then I was going to boot them on the laptop, and I thought, well, hey, so I could probably just boot them up in VirtualBox. Fedora 25 will run in VirtualBox. So let's go to the desktop, and I'm going to start over here. This is Fedora 23, my system that I'm using right here. First, I'm going to shut this web browser. I think it's, yeah, see, it's not, I thought I had it paused and I didn't. It doesn't respond well. So you click on it and it doesn't do anything, and you go away, and then you come back, and you thought you paused it, or and you didn't, and all that sort of thing. So make sure everything is. I don't want to overwhelm this machine. It can only handle so much. So this is DNF and my Fedora 23 system. It actually looks, I just realized when I got in here, it looks quite a bit different. I don't really use it. I use YumX because it still works in Fedora 23. It'll just send the commands onto the DNF app. But so I did this typical search that I was doing. Now, when I was on my Fedora 25 system and I would just search for VNC, I would get 2 apps, and I was always complaining, well, there's a lot more than that. See, look at all that. And I was having to get all creative with my searches to try to find what I was looking for, because I knew that stuff was in there. And I knew there was a setting, and I kept going into the settings here. This is all different in the other, but I'm going to show you in 23. But everything's different in here. So anyway, in here, if you click on that, see, I always hit enter. I do a search, I hit enter. Just the way I do it. It makes, it's just the way I'm used to running the computer. And oh, now it's not going to respond. Let's see. Oh, well, that's because this is different. Okay, here's the setting for that search, and I'll show you. You'll see why I had so much trouble finding it. There's the extra settings for your search, which is much easier to find because it's a button, that you say, okay, I'm looking for something, click all the buttons, right? I kept doing that and couldn't find it. And the default is they don't have that in there. Description, which, when you want to search for, especially if you're doing more than one word search, you want the description, the name, the summary, you want it all. You want to just find what you're looking for. I can't even remember the names of the apps. And when you do prefix, I think it'll change see, now I just get those 2 apps. And that's what was happening. And that's how they set it for default. Now, I don't think you'd want to just do keyword, because that would limit you, but fields. Okay, set it to fields, and then do name, summary, description. Then you'll easily find pretty much everything in the Fedora, in your distros. If you've added distros like I have, RPM Fusion and stuff, you'll find them. So I'm not looking for anything in Fedora 23, but what I do want to do, and as a matter of fact, I'm just going to start VirtualBox right there. I think before I ever used Fedora 25, I had tried it out in VirtualBox, I think. I have Windows XP in here. I use this sometimes. I've used it for apps that just have to have Windows, that I want to run, like the way I built that easy-to-boot bootable SD card. Let's see, and then I have another one that I just put I just keep switching. That's why I can't Linux test it VM. I just keep switching to whatever one that I want. Now I'll go into the settings to see what I got in there. I'm not sure what. Go to storage, yeah, and then go to, looks like it's completely empty. Let's see, yeah, I don't have anything. Why don't I have something in there? Make sure I'm paying attention, doing the right thing. Let's see. Go back to storage. Okay, controller IDE is empty. Well, I normally leave that empty. USB, What have I been doing? Okay, IDE is also that's where you can boot your ISOs. You just do it as a, and you can have a SATA controller too, and that's where your virtual hard disk is. I even put floppies in there and stuff because sometimes I want to try it. They don't like to boot in there, but some floppy IMG files will boot, but ISOs will boot in the IDE. So yeah, it's either you can click live CD DVD, which is probably a good idea once I pick one. So I'm going to pick Fedora 25, and it'll show you a list of some of the recent ones you've done. And I'm going to go to my backup drive. That's where I keep all that stuff. Fedora. Now, right now I'm going to go to Fedora 25 because I want to show what I'm talking about with. I'm just going to go ahead and get the one I got installed on the laptop. No, not security. Mate, x86-64. I think it'll run in here. I'll usually just do the 32 bits because, well, usually I mess around with old computers, I guess is the main reason I do that. I'm going to click live CD because I think it makes some difference there. Live CD DVD. And because that's what that ISO is for. Well, nowadays they're already kind of set up with compatibility for USB devices too. Used to, you had a different procedure on how to, you had to download the tar.gz file and put it. Okay, so there it goes, getting ready to boot. so that's got the boot screen, but we'll see. And sometimes they'll start out really small, and then it'll automatically see what resolution it can do, and it will get larger when it just boots up. I didn't see any errors. I'm pretty sure I booted in here several times. And these if you're not used to using VirtualBox, these notes up here tell you what's going on. So it gets a little bit bigger, and they also kind of get in the way, so I'm going to close them. Once it gets booted up, I'm going to actually, I'm going to check again right now. Yeah, okay. I want to make sure I wasn't talking with it on the camera or something about, telling you one thing and showing you another. Okay, so there it is. And it runs just okay on, let's see, what do I have in there? I think I have a gig of RAM. And I think I have more video memory set up in here. No, yeah, well, because it's coming out of the RAM, so I think I have like 512 megabytes or 348 or something set up instead of 256, what this machine actually has on my physical video memory. But anyway, I want to go into DNF. And I hadn't thought about it before because I was wanting to show the live system that I just built, but I could have showed this many times when I was trying to show something and couldn't show what I was talking about during this whole time of me working on that laptop and using that, trying to get VNC working. It wouldn't do much good to try to get it working in VirtualBox because virtual hardware doesn't work, and most of the time you'll have more trouble in VirtualBox than you will on real hardware, and it just doesn't, it's simulated hardware, so it's not the same as putting it on the real machine that you're going to run on, and it's checking for the updates and all. It does the same exact thing as if it was on a real machine. I could install this as just like XP. That's actually installed in a virtual disk, and it runs. It gets it gets updates, and I know the world thinks it tells you, and all the news media tells you it won't get updates, but you can make it get updates. If you set it up as a embedded system. So I'm not going to go into that right now, but anyway, that's so I don't surf the internet with it or anything, and I don't download anything with it, but I use it to like I said, like to build my easy to boot and stuff like that. Okay, so let's say I want to do a search. See, it's all different. It's laid out different. The search is on the right, and it doesn't stay up there. I was saying how I didn't like that. Okay, so you only get to 2. So where is the button? No round button up here, and it took me a week. Well, not a week, but I kept trying for at least 3 days on different times every time I'd get in here for 3 days. So I probably tried 50 times. I don't know, to figure it out. Not really. I tried about 5 to 10 times to figure it out. So there it is, and how I did this is I don't remember why I was going to click on that, but I saw that, and I was going to click on it, and my finger slipped. My finger slipped and clicked on it. I think I was just trying to move my cursor, move my Yeah, moves the mouse pointer, I mean. So I said, there it is. I recognized it, once I saw it. And so change it like that. And I remember I just stopped. For some reason, instead of hitting enter, I don't know why, I thought that would make it search. And actually, if you wanted to make it search with the mouse, you'd click that little magnifying glass. So that right there is just one little picture of what do they normally use that icon for? Folders. That means folders. That does not mean settings. It doesn't remotely resemble what it is, settings. That's how the icon they've used in many operating systems for folders for years and years and years. So if I was going to, let's see. No, that doesn't work. If you click on that, it doesn't work. So you have to hit enter. And this one, which is fine with me, that's the way I do it. But there you go. Now here's everything I was looking for. So I fought and went around and around and around with it. And you can see real quick because they need updates, and I'll just go to install. But that's how Fedora 25 comes. As soon as it comes up here, is it going to show it? Oh, yeah, I'm just not being patient enough, I guess. Okay, let's go to installed again. Huh. I guess they come up in the search, but not, I don't know. Don't worry about it that much. But anyway, you can tell because they're all black except for those two red ones. There's not any green ones because everything in here needs updating. So it has the Tiger VNC license and the Tiger VNC minimal server. That's all that comes, okay. So if I want to try to make VNC work, this is how I got it to work in Debian. Let's just see what happens. See if I messed it up trying to fix it before. KRFB. I didn't plan on trying ever again, but oh well. Let's go ahead and install KRFB, and then that's actually all you should need. In Debian, I installed Vino, but I didn't find any. In Debian, I didn't find. And over here, the gears is how you make it do it, and that installs a bunch of stuff, but that's okay. Once I shut it down, it'll go away. But that's probably a good reason why you should pick, when you're doing a live ISO like that, you should pick live CD DVD because it won't save that to your virtual. See, your virtual box gets backed up every time you shut it down, and it'll keep on filling up your hard drive if you give it, if you let it save that to your system, then. But, well, it does if you have one installed. It backs up. Now, if you're just doing, I don't know if that makes any difference or not. But anyway, it just seems that that's what I'm doing, so that's a good option to go with. But it installed, all the dependencies and everything. It works surprisingly well. Of course, you can see it's using 26% of my processing power, and it's using. That's between, the RAM I gave it's a gig, and then 164. That's not 164 megabytes. It's using 1.1 gigabytes. But see, the processing power is where you get in trouble when you're trying to make a video. See there, I'm already using quite a bit of processing power. See, one of the processors is at 100%, 50, 44, and it's jumping around. So really working the machine. That's about as much as I can give it to do. So, and that's also because I'm running DNF. It's not as heavy on resource usage as I just remembered one of the good things about having that laptop running, I'll just show what I'm doing while that's doing its thing. I can open up the web browser and monitor my YouTube feed. I did finally get my web browser all set up. Let's see. Let me go back to the desktop so that we'll all know, right? It's almost done over here, so that's more interesting than me going to my YouTube page, I think. Okay. Can't see it anyway over there. So while I'm waiting on that, I'm getting my YouTube page up. I can leave that desktop laptop over there running, waiting for me to show a different page than it usually does. Oh, there's my live stream right there. But I want to go to I'm going to go to it. But then I want to, everything's kind of seems different. There it is over there. Well, you can't see it, but I got my mouse in both hands. I'm getting myself confused. Okay, see, I looking different. Oh, no, okay, now I see it. It just hadn't come in yet. The chat's there and all that, but I don't have the stream health, and that's the number one thing I want. But when I try to roll all the way to the top, it doesn't seem to be doing it or something. Oh, see, now it finally came in and started playing, and I'm getting video feedback because I'm watching. Yeah, go to my channel and get to my stream. I just want to see the stream health and pause the video is what I want. Okay, video manager. Yeah, that's my channel there, my home page for my channel. And where's live? Right there. Okay, that way if I can glance over there, and if someone did try to chat, what's that? Oh, not now. It's trying to save the password for my live stream. Like what? Oh, but on the laptop you can't see it as good. Well, I can move. I can page over though. It's because I'm doing 1024 by 768. That's why it's really kind of funky looking. But I should be able to. There. Now leave it like that. And if somebody did chat in there, then I'd have to page around to answer them. But at least I can see that somebody, sometimes somebody actually wants to say something to me, and I don't even know they're there because wasn't able to manage it. Okay, the DNF backend is not responding. Yum extender will exit. Yum extender powered by DNF. Oh, it must not be going to work in the virtual box. Okay, well, so you can't, at least for whatever reason, I couldn't do that installation. It's not important. It's in VirtualBox. Maybe if I had it installed, it certainly it's using more memory than I like. We'll see. I think I'm just going to, you can just do that and say power off, hit the X up there and hit power off machine to do it quickly. Especially won't hurt anything in just a live ISO. Now, see, if you look through all your stuff here that you have, let's see. Yeah, the only reason I didn't look there to start with is because sometimes I miss it with all that extra data in there. My eyes don't read through long lists very well. That's long to me. Anyway, there it is, the ISO that I'm booted to. So I'm going to go get that. Let's see. So I showed what I wanted to show about DNF. So there you go. And yeah, I just got curious there when I was sitting there. Oh, let's see if I can make remote desktop work in there. But of course, that would be of no real use to me. If I want to make it work, I want to make it work in my actual. I think you can in my laptop, the hardware. I think you can click. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you click on it, you can say choose a disk image. And so let's do that. Now I want to go. I downloaded the Fedora 26, and they're still in. What did I do? Get the wrong thing? Yeah, I got in the ARM. I want Fedora 26. They are in still in alpha. They're not even calling it beta, but it's kind of maybe that's just how they do it because I've been reading that they're supposed to, unless they change their mind and they're behind, but they were going to release Fedora 26 in June or July, maybe. Yeah, it was June or July that I read. Last time I saw it on the Fedora news page, homepage, or whatever. So I want to try. Let's just try Make Compose. I also have XFCE i386 and x86 64. But this is the one that I'm actually thinking I might go to Fedora 26 since there's some weird. The desktops, are having crash reports and stuff, boot image crash reports and other things that aren't working. I thought, well, what if the remote desktop was fixed in Fedora 26, So let's see what happens. Boot it up. So, okay, now I don't believe we'll need to check the image. I did check I checked it with the checksum earlier, It's even with Linux. I have two or three times over the years, and it was in the last year, 2 years, I've ran into files that I downloaded from a Linux site of some sort of Linux app or whatever. Well, actually, once or I think 2 times it was a distro ISO that was actually showed up to be, I think I just had a feeling to check it or something, because I keep Clam AV. There's the little icon for it, and anytime I think I need to check something, I'll scan it with that. Plus, I've got add-ons in my browser to check everything. Nowadays, I just check them before I even download them, but back then I didn't check them very much. There you go. So let's see. I'll see what these say. I've even forgotten, but okay. You have auto capture keyboard option turned on. This will cause what? Cause the virtual, and you can't see. Oh, there it is. Virtual machine to automatically capture, and I'm not going to go on into that, but and it works pretty well. And then the reports at the guest OS mouse pointer integration. This means that you don't need to capture. Now, if you have to manually do that, it can be. You got to learn. You got to better learn those keyboard shortcuts, so you'll get hung in your virtual machine once you get in there. So there it is. It looks just like the Mate desktop looks the same, but it has I like that new background. It looks better. I've never seen a nice looking desktop background in Fedora. It's always been, well, I have mine automatically changed. I use an app. In case you've ever got curious, what I use is that app right there, Wallpapers. And you can't install it from the repos anymore. I had to just unzip it to a folder and set it up and make it run. But you got to kind of, some distros, it will use up too much memory and stuff, so you got to watch it. But let's see, I don't think it's doing me any trouble. There it is right there. And actually, it doesn't show up as wallpapers. It shows up as, if I can type, it shows up as Python. But it's only using 1 megabyte, and it's not even registered on CPU usage. So it's only using 1 megabyte of memory. So yeah, it's cool. I started wondering, the way my machine, seems more easy to overwhelm lately, and I started thinking it was that. It's just Firefox. It only happens in Firefox. And if I have a bunch of other stuff running, I expect these things to be heavy in the resource usage. It's VirtualBox is okay now. The same amount of RAM. That's just how much it's going to run. That when you run a virtual machine in the Linux test there, I gave it 1 gig of RAM plus the video memory that I gave it. So it's just going to do that. But it's not overwhelming the CPU usage right now. And if I start doing a bunch in here, it will do more. But anyway, let's see what applications comes in it. Let me make sure I am on the desktop because I kept switching around. Okay. Applications, it's going to be pretty much the same, I'm sure. Yeah, it looks like, from what I can remember, which isn't saying much, it looks pretty much exactly the same. Yeah, okay. Buildbit. What is that? Buildbit GUI. I don't know. I'll go see what that is. It might be Bluetooth. But the other one was said Bluetooth something or whatever. What I am really instead of just being, let's be curious. I was gonna say, instead of just being curious, let's look for the one of the first things I'm interested in. That's VNC. Probing storage, scanning storage configuration. Might be some sort of file sharing app. I'm not sure what it is. Either that or storage management, because it scans storage. Blivit GUI. I'll have to look that up to see what Blivit is. Blivit GUI. There. I'm going to go ahead and close it now. I went ahead and clicked on it, and it went right to Firefox there. So Firefox is one of the heavier resource users, so I don't open it up a lot in virtual machines. And I could have went and looked that up in my regular machine. Well, but since I'm doing the video at the same time, it might be better to do what I'm doing. Let's go see what. Yeah, see, it made the resources jump up. So sometimes, depending on how much the machine, the OS that you're running in the virtual machine is using, how heavy on system usage it is, you really don't want to open up your web browser in it, unless you've got a really powerful machine, of course. But I have 4 gig of RAM, quad core, and only like I keep saying, 256 megabyte of video memory on board on on chip memory, video memory. Yeah, see, that's taking, just like I was saying, sometimes it takes forever to come in. I'll just let it keep trying to come in. If it doesn't come in pretty soon, I'll quit trying. Yeah, see, the menus aren't responding right because it's just too much. I think I'm going to quit it. It could just keep on. It could. Sometimes it just one little web page like that. It just will end up bringing me my whole machine to a crash. I'm going to try to close it. Yeah, see, it's not really responding well. Especially the first time, the first time you open up Firefox, it wants to open up 3 pages in these live systems now. So that actually adds up pretty quick there. There we go. Okay, let's see if things are going to settle back down. Now, see, it'll probably settle down a little bit on the CPU usage. It'll take a little bit. Okay, what I really want to know is what are the settings in here? If they've changed any. But I didn't see, you know what? Didn't see, well, this is in a virtual box, but I didn't see any errors, any of that. Things that I've seen in Fedora 25. This may actually be in better for me than better shape than 25, even though it's getting close to the end of its life cycle. I guess it's not close. I guess it'll be another year before they EOL it, but end of life. Not Emerson, Lake and Palmer. EOL, in my generation, that was Emerson, Lake and Palmer. That's why I always thought I never cared much for all those. I forgot the right name for it, but when you use letters to represent several words, it's always changing. It depends on what circles you run in. If you're in the rock and roll music circle, then it's going to be a band name. And I guess if you were in the country or the hippity-hoppity, rippity-rappity circle, then it's going to mean all that kind of stuff, So, oh yeah, let's try to make sure we turn the screensaver off. No use in it doing anything to us while we're in here. I don't want it trying to lock me out of I don't even want, I don't want screensavers or power management. There we go. Now, okay. DNF Dragora. Don't know what that is. Light GM greeter settings. You can set your login screen. And then let's look at the control panel. I don't think it'll have really anything. I think I'm going to go see what that DNF Dragora is. I've read that before somewhere. I've seen it. It's probably in Fedora 25 when I came across it. Because that name kind of stuck in my head. Yeah, I don't see anything about VNC, and I can't. Maybe it's in the GNOME version. Let's see. I want to make sure there's not something in there. Yeah. See what that is. It didn't seem to respond. There it goes. Now some of these apps, okay. DNF daemon error corrected geo. Error Quark. I'm going to try to read it really. Looks like I got it open twice, and that may be why we got an error. But yeah, some of these menus, see it's still back there. And actually, most of the time, I like it better. Yeah, I see that second one closed. But as far as resource usage, it's nice when everything's shut. But as far as, if you want to, sometimes you want things to stay open. Software management. Network manager. I'll have to go look that up and see what it is, and I'm not going to try to click on it again. GeoIP. Yeah. I know what GeoIP is. GeoIP is a C library that enables users to find the country that many IP addresses or host names originate from. It uses file databases that can. So if you got an IP, like if you get some spam from somebody, But I don't know. It says software management. That's what. Maybe it's like network tools. It's got more in there than I don't. Maybe it's got something to do with. I need to look it up. Got something to do with. Oh, I see. Silly. I clicked on the first one and it happens to be GOIP, but it says up there software management. So that's just an app. Just happened to be an app. I clicked enter, but it didn't do anything, or it was slow. Yeah, Tiger Bean. So it's another software manager. It's just like Yum DNF. That's what it is. And it's doing the same thing. It's not showing but those two, so you'd have to figure out how to set it. Maybe there, the user preferences. Don't see it there. Boy, I wouldn't use it for nothing if you can't change that behavior. Oh, in names, okay. In descriptions, but you only get to pick one. You can't pick them all. In file names, in summaries, in descriptions. Well, if I have to pick, I would pick descriptions, I think. Let's see. Actually, I think you don't have to keep hitting the search button. I think it'll... No, that didn't help. Summaries. This doesn't look like I would like it at all. File names. Not very few. VNC is not going to be in the file name. File name's not a good way to look for an app in Linux because sometimes a lot of the developers like to give them creative names that have absolutely nothing to do with their purpose. So you need to look. I've learned this since 2005 of searching and installing and running Linux apps. You need to, if you're going to search. That's what I loved about Linux. I still do. One of the main things I love about Linux is how easily you could find and then find the purpose. Get the website and then decide if you want to install them. And one thing I really miss is you could organize your search between GUI and command line, one or other or both. There you go. In file names, that brought up some more stuff, but still not all of it. We just saw how many more there is. And that's his file names. And I guess the name, names is not a good way to search. Description, summary. I would think description would have the most information about the app. So maybe I didn't wait long enough on that one. When you hit enter, I don't think it'll search. It doesn't seem like it. Nope, that doesn't work. Summaries. So in this app, the best way to find what you want is actually in names, file names. Well, sort of. Depends on what you're put in there to search, but just when you're searching for VNC. Okay, that's really not an app I would want to use. Not of any, unless you can change that, and I just haven't figured it out yet, which could be very likely with me. Let me go. Yeah, okay, we're good. Well, we do want to look. Okay, yeah, we're still using our processor pretty hard, but as long as I don't give it any more than that to do, I guess I'll be all right. Yeah, I can just glance over at my laptop. I'm glad I thought of that. Turn it on. I can just glance over and see that everything's good. I don't have to fiddle around. Last several videos I've been going back and forth, opening up my web browser and stuff. Because I kept thinking, well, I don't want to be rude to somebody who's trying to talk to me, and plus I want to make sure my stream is okay. You have to pay attention. Yeah, okay. Where does it say health is? Oh, stream health. Okay, there's a big green line across there. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it still has, it does not have, oh no. It doesn't have Yum DNF. It has Dragora, DNF Dragora, and DNF Dragora Updater. So unless I can install Yum DNF, I would, or unless I can find went blank. Unless I can find the settings to get them to where it searches everything like I want it to. Finally figured out in Yum DNF, and now they went and changed things on me again. Yeah, as I've been saying over and over, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Of course, if I was the person, I was thinking about that a minute ago. Everybody, a lot of people, we all want to complain about things we don't like, but and after all these years, you get a little spoiled, and sometimes we begin to. I think I'll go back in there. We begin to forget that this is a free gift. Nobody's charging you for it, and they're working very hard at doing all this, and they're doing what they think is best for their purposes, and they just happen to decide to share it with you. And Fedora, for instance, is basically the test bed for Red Hat Linux, which is an enterprise Linux. That's how they make their money. They're one of the if not the most, they're one of the most successful Linux distros out there. I don't know, Ubuntu might make more money now. I'm not sure, but I don't care for Ubuntu. I don't use it, but I like Debian. What Ubuntu's built on. Oh, the other is a little error there again. This time I didn't get a double. Uh-oh, it crashed that time. Okay, well, let's go in here. So anyway, if I do something, if I build something or make something or set up a computer for somebody and they start bitching about it, then I can say, well, if you don't like it, do it yourself. So if I don't like it, I guess I can write my own operating system. Only I don't know how to do that. Okay, so let's just say, I'm going to say DNF, and I think it's YumX, or it might be YumEX. I think it's YumEX. It'll tell me. It's still thinking, so it's probably available. Yeah, I think I got it right. It's available. Error. Okay, yeah, so I did it wrong. And there's something cool. Use your up and down arrow keys, and you can get the last command you typed, and then you can just change it. I think it's YumEX. No package name YumX available. All right, let's try this. Just see what about. Oh, let's say instead of install, let's say list. That way I won't install something I don't actually want. I may not be able to do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't install something in 25. It errored out on me. There we go. Okay, the only thing available is Yum. Oh, just the one package. I'm going to see. You don't really want Yum necessarily, but I don't think on it. Because it's slower and everything. Okay, so it's going to install Yum and some Python stuff to go with it. Yum metadata parser. I'm going to do it just for the fun of it. Yeah, see, like in a system like this that you're trying not to overuse the resources, if you know enough, just a few commands, you can just install stuff in the command line. It's definitely a lot easier on the system resources. So, make sure everything's still cool and I'm doing what I should be doing. Okay, complete. All right, now might as well just say, well, let's go see if it went into the, it'll either be down here or it'll be up here. I don't see it though. So I'm just going to type Yum and start it. I may not have a GUI. Oh, I don't. I just have and I'm going to try, say Yum list. Now that that's installed, YumX might be available. We'll see. Nope. Wow. Yum. I forgot extend the Yum extender. I could have said DNF too, but like I said, it should just change it over to running through DNF. Yum install Yum extender. No package Looks like it's not even available. Okay. Go back to DNF. And see, this is where it can get long and old because especially you have to know the names of the package and you have to spell them right. So that's why the GUI search can be a lot easier. Okay, there is an Apper app. I couldn't find it in Fedora 25, so let's say Apper. I don't care for it a lot, but I used it for most of all these years. Well, I didn't used to like Yumex because it had some weird things I didn't like about it, but it turned out it had a lot better search than Apper did. Looks like it's going to install a bunch of stuff, but it's all very small, so I'm just going to do it just for the fun of it. I'm really seriously interested in switching straight to Fedora 26, but only if it's going to work for me. I cannot deal with that app manager that they got unless I can get it to show all search well for me. Yeah, I have to watch how much memory see, when you install that stuff, it may start making my memory grow. Well, since I'm running that virtual machine, it may just put it in my hard drive cache, though, and it may not be a problem. I think it might do that. Of course, if it starts filling, let me look at my hard drive space and see what's happening there. Definitely don't want to overfill that. Everything's fine there. Now, see, I don't have it right now. With making these videos, 18.4 gigabyte. And then when I'm done, after they get backed up to my USB hard drive, where I have all these ISOs and everything, then I'll delete these videos. And normally I would just do that every few months, not every day, But since this system needs to be reformatted, I need to get rid of that old Windows 7 system and reformat it, and then I'll have a 250 gigabyte hard drive with a brand new system on it, just like I'm doing to the laptop. That's only 120 gig hard drive. I think it showed like 117 when I was, installing Fedora 25. So let me look at my list of things to do today. Let's see. Make sure. That's quite 75 packages. That even though they're pretty small, it's still going to take a little bit of time there. Yeah, domain 9. I went and looked that up, and it's. I don't think I would be wanting to install it. I might play with it. Actually, can you download it yet? Yeah, you can download it somewhere. I saw a video of it today. Actually, I rewatched it. I'd seen it before. I didn't. I was going to. I did. I said, okay, I'll download it with Unetbootin on the video. That's what I was thinking. Okay, maybe after this, I'll just do Fedora in this video, and then I'll stop and start again with the main if I get that far. Throat's already a little raspy right now from between allergies and talking. See, I don't talk unless I'm making a video. Really, I mean, I'll talk a little bit to somebody when I come out of my cave here. But Fedora 26. Yeah, Unetbootin, and I already did the DNF part. So yeah, I decided to start making myself a list so that I could help me remember to do what I want to do. But I do need a cough drop now. So I'm going to switch. Where's my... How much? 17 to 75. Oh, this is going a lot slower than I would expect it to. Could be because I'm in this live system and it's going to end up not working, but so far everything's still just the same, so probably be all right. All right, so instead of sitting there watching that, I don't do that when I'm just working. I go off and do something else. So a lot of times I get more going than I can keep up with. But now I forgot what I switched to on the computer. I'm pretty sure I'm in the right place, but I mean on my OBS stream. It's getting harder and harder to get my KVM switch back to. Darn it. If you push the switch in all the way, then it just jumps kind of to a random spot. You have to push it in about halfway. Okay, yes, I am where I wanted to be. So, yeah, I'm going to show the laptop. Of course, now I better go check. Oh, I'm on the laptop. I've already done that. Yeah, 17 of 75. Well, it could be hung up. Because I know that's not that big of a... Wait, is that some kind of KF5? I didn't read through all of them. One of them could have been big and I wasn't paying attention. Well, I could have made a mistake, but now I'm kind of stuck waiting unless I want to just kill it. I'll just let it run and I'll go show something else. Okay, we're on the laptop. I need a master control operator, or I need a director and a switch operator. I used to be a master control operator in a TV station, and there's a little bitty TV station, and we actually switched the programs from there manually with buttons, like I'm doing on my KVM switch, and with putting tapes. We even broadcast SVHS tape. It was 3/4 inch tape for the most part, but we also broadcast SVHS tapes. And I kind of like that. I was sitting in the building. There was a big building with the transmitter built. Tower was outside, but there was a big old building with all the transformer equipment. And I was in the building with that stuff, listening. And I did the midnight to 7 shifts, or midnight to 8 or whatever. So they're listening to that transformer hum all night. I actually enjoyed that. Okay, so well, DNF, what I was thinking is, what was I thinking? Okay, we're back in DNF in the laptop, and of course it'll have to check and see if it has any updates and all that stuff. I was thinking about where I got. What did I try to install and I got hung up? Oh, I tried to install. Right. So I had a brand new Fedora 25 system in the virtual machine, and I saw there was only those 2 things to do with Tiger VNC. I keep thinking that since Debian worked with Vino and that it might work in Fedora 25. Vino and KRFB. GUI app, that's just to make it work. Oh, okay, there's no update, so it's not doing anything. Yeah, see, I've already set this one to fields and all the name, summary, and description all at the same time. So it finds things like you want it to, like you expect it to, Well, but it didn't. Oh, there's Tiger. So what I have is the Tiger VNC display. Yeah, that shouldn't do anything to it. And the icons, server minimal. That's all I have. Okay, so I'm basically the same, but it still wasn't working. I don't have Vino, but you know what? Oh, I tried uninstalling Tiger VNC, and it was going to uninstall stuff that I wanted. I'm going to do it for the heck of it. I don't expect it to work, but I'm going to install Vino again because I took it out. What happened? Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing somehow. I wanted Vino. Oh, Vinegary. Oh, that's the viewer that I like. Well, let's put that in there. and Vino Server. See, this is the one for Genome. It's the one that always came with Genome, and this is Mate, and so it's a fork of Genome 2. This came with Genome 2 back in the day. So I just think it should work. Now that's going to, of course, some of those dependencies, I don't know which ones go with what, but it doesn't matter. Now I'm going to go back and check on my other machine. See what we got going there. Let's see, what did I end up doing? I did end up doing installs on both of them at the same time. I'm really thinking that this could be hung up, the install. I wonder if that, let's see. Still the same amount of memory and CPU usage, but I think that system's hung up because my mouse is not doing anything in it. Yeah, it is. I gave it too much to do and trying to do those installs. Got away with a couple, but I gave it too many. Yeah, it's locked up. Okay, so I can't install that. I'm going to say power off. I always use the power off. I don't use that's the one that'll do it with that. It's like holding in the button in for 4 seconds. Well, yeah, it gets the same results anyway. And I don't want to save the machine state in this one. If you did, like if it was something like that you had, one that you had installed on a virtual hard drive, you might want to do that. But if you send the shutdown signal, a lot of times it won't work when the machine's locked up like it is right now. Then the virtual machine. So yeah, I'll go back to let's see. I'll go back to the laptop and then I'll come back and boot this up again. I'm just going to close VirtualBox altogether. Let the machine clear out its memory. Okay, let's do that since I got started on that. And I forget sometimes. I move my chair back and forth to reach things, and then I move away from my mic. Okay. So that installed just fine, Vino. Not that necessarily means anything, but I'll go ahead and open up the okay, you know what? I was always looking for that XVNC. Now, what if I start? I don't think you can just start Vino. Let's see. And I don't think there's I accidentally clicked on the wrong thing. I was trying to click on my terminal. Looks like sometimes it'll, in some systems it will open it up twice, the same app. Let's see. Yeah, that's still up. Okay. So I don't think it'll add any control apps or anything when you install. No, it doesn't when you install Vino. I remember that. I'll look and see just to make sure. Of course, they're not going to be in any of those categories, but I still haven't even changed my stuff to the theme that I like. Okay. Oh yeah, that's the command. Let's see. Fatal. It's already running. Okay. So yeah, that would be the thing. Is I don't think I could start Vino with Tiger VNC running. But I don't know what process name it has. I don't see it in here. So I know that I can connect to it the way I have it set up right now, but it won't work. It's not of any use. Yeah, I can't think of any, and I don't want to go on and on messing with that. Okay. Let's go back to the other machine. And I'm still pretty interested in Fedora 26. Okay. Okay, things look okay again. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I don't have, but 32 megabyte. Well, that's a lot less than 256 megabyte that I have. That's 32 megabyte of video memory is all I gave it. You can't, you can only use so much of your resources, and you'll. Also, maybe it would. I'm really not 100% sure if that comes straight out of the RAM or if it actually shares your video memory, your real video memory on your machine. And that might be what I discovered. I do remember that using a lot of video memory will overwhelm your machine pretty easy. And I've figured out that most live systems will run on 30. I've used 64 megabyte before. Like I had my whole Pentium 4 has what does it have? No, it has 64 meg. I was thinking I had something with 512 megabyte real video card in it, but anyway, let's boot that back up. It's pretty small video memory considering mostly video cards you can get for $35 or 2 gig right now these days. I have a cough drop. If you probably hear that smacking, I try not to smack it, but ain't all the coughing. There we go. I think it logged in all by itself last time, or did I have to click on it? I really can't remember. But it's just sitting there right now. Usually you would see a little something spinning, to tell you that it's fixing to auto log in. It used to would say the words auto log in on most all live distros, but I don't know. Maybe they quit that. It seemed fine a minute ago. I don't remember what I did, to be honest. Oh, there's an oops. What's that one? Mate session crashed. Well, it did crash. I wonder if it remembers the last when I had to hard shut it down. Could be what it was. It wants me to go report it, but I don't want to do that right now. Now I shouldn't have any of that. Since I clicked live session, it shouldn't have saved any of what I did to it. Let's see. Let's look at the system monitor first, just to see what's running. I don't think I did that before anyway. Right now it's using 93% of the virtual CPU, and it's using 967 of the. So it only shows to have 991 megabyte of memory. Okay, there's the answer to my question. I've got to give it a gig of memory, and it's only showing that it has 991. So 90, but let's give it 32 megabyte of video memory. So I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't work out, does it? I don't know. Okay, so look at the processes. Oddly enough, the system monitor, this mate system monitor, uses a lot of resources in itself. And I don't know why they can't just, it's nice to have it adjustable, but why can't it adjust to what's in the screen, what's text is there automatically. CPU, that would be mate system monitor, 30%. So, isn't that something? And memory, mate system monitor. So I need to just turn the system monitor off. It's not going to help me in that way. I wanted to kind of get an idea of what was running. Okay, I'm going to shut it. Yeah, if you don't have the other system monitor that I use, the one that I use in here, it doesn't use near as much. You won't see it doing that hardly ever. Once in a while it will. This one is called Kde System Monitor, and it's running on my desktop, right? That's what I'm running it on. And see right now, the biggest memory is my it says mate panel, but I know the icon that is OBS Studio. Okay, so I'm going to go back into, can you get in there this way too? Looks like you can't get into that app manager. Did I say was that Blivet GUI? Was that an app manager too? I think it was. Let's open it up again. Yeah, I was in there going, what is this? Yeah, so let's see what it's like. Maybe it'll do some, I think it was, and that might be the one they really expect you to use. They figure you would like better. That, well, I did DNF install and that worked, so that wasn't, they haven't changed away from DNF. No pending actions. It's not doing anything now. Oh, didn't it crash or something when I tried to do something in it? Reload storage. Oh, yeah. Let's do that again. Okay. Error. Huh. Okay, well it didn't want to run. Maybe if I reboot the system. Maybe if I reboot it, it'll get fixed. Because I did have a block it up and hard shut it down. Maybe it has a saved state. I don't know. But I don't remember, I changed ISOs a lot, and I don't remember them, filling up the hard drive. So who knows? Boots up pretty quick, doesn't it? That one thing they have done with most Linux distros and make them boot up a lot faster than they used to. Of course, I didn't mention it this time, but I have seen for years, if it does have an auto login function and you circumvent it by clicking on the login button, it will make the live OS do stuff like that. Things will crash and it won't work right, but if you'll just wait and let it boot, then it'll be fine. But sometimes they take a little while to switch on over to live boot, so that's why I kind of sit there and hesitate. See, it doesn't look like it's going to do anything. But you have a power off button, and you can set accessibility options in there. Your desktop, you can change your language there. I don't think it's going to go in. In 25, I never did see it do it, so I don't imagine 26 is either. Well, we'll see. I thought that Blivet, I was all surprised when I got in there. Then we're still having a problem. First time I booted up, it was just fine, but now it's acting funny. So, the live install desktop is there, but the icon's missing, or at least right now it is. Let's see. I'm going to go back into DNF. Okay, let's go back in there and see if I can change. At least it was working a while ago. See if I can change things to the search to make it better. I'm just checking on, seeing if I can tell what's making it slow down. I may decide it doesn't want to work right. That's what you won't really know for sure. You can get a pretty good idea of running, new ISOs in the VirtualBox, but you won't know for sure how it's going to run till you install it. There we go. DNF client error. GBus. Okay, so there's error there, and then there's another problem with what? It just says oops, it don't tell you what it is. Oops. There's a commercial here in my area for years where this the girl goes oops, and it's even funny to me, and this is something we've said all our lives, the way she says it, it's funny. And it's some kind of, it's a second, it's like, what do you call it? Not second hand, but kind of overstock or old stock or whatever. It's not salvage, but anyway, building supply store, and they break a window and stuff in the commercial they used to. And that's when she says oops, I think. But anyway, I don't know. I'm going crazy. Okay. Oh, that crashed. It didn't just have an error, it crashed. So I don't know. I guess it's not going to run for me now. I'll try Blivet again. I think it's called Blivet. B-L-I-V-E-T. Yeah, Blivet. Okay, now it's doing that probing storage. So let's see what happens. Okay, it didn't give an error so far, but it's a blank. And maybe I'm confused about which app I was in when I saw. I know I clicked on something. About Blivet. Let's see. Oh yeah, I had tried to go to their website to see what it was. Blivet, B-L-I-V-E-T-G-U-I. I think this is about storage. Let's just go and I'm gonna go. Let's just go to Firefox in here and see. I think that's a storage control application. It might be for like a Gparted, for formatting. I didn't get what I didn't get. I have something from my last old stuff in there. I don't know how that got in there. Careful just searching some odd word that you don't know what it means. Impossible trident, also known as impossible fork, a blivet. Can't read that word. Devil's tuning fork. Huh? How be darn. Usually, they use words that come up. There's what they look like. It's not a Oh, how funny. Look at the drawing. It's not, the center part is not really there up in the top, but it is down at the bottom. And there's a building that looks like one. I've heard that word before. I can't remember what it was supposed to be. So I thought when I did it, I did my search, I'll probably find it. Anaconda installer. Let's see. Yeah, likely to get Blivet GUI. Well, we already know it has it. Okay, so what is Blivit GUI? Storage configuration options, that's what it is. Yeah, so you could format drives and do all kinds of stuff with it. That's what it is. Okay, now we know what it is. And once I do a search, if I find it at all interesting, then I save it so I can find it again in my bookmarks. Bad habit, I know, but I don't care. It's only a bad habit because I got so many bookmarks. It takes this long for it to come up just so I can see. I right click on one and then bookmark the all tabs, you know, and it takes this long for it to come up. And if I click somewhere else, it'll go away and I have to do it again. And so I'm used to doing it all the time. So I just do it without even thinking. And okay, so now I know what that is. But I guess, let's see, that already crashed, didn't it? Is that since I rebooted? Try DNF one more time, I think. Drag Aura. Yeah, there it is. See if it crashes again. I can't remember if after I rebooted this virtual machine, if I tried it again or not. So I guess I'm really not going to know unless I looks like it's working okay now. It's sitting there spinning like it looks like it's checking for updates. So there we go. Yeah, I was confused. See, that GUIP is the first one, and I was in. At that time I didn't know for sure what this was. Okay, so yeah, so if I did my look in the options this time, see if there's any show updates. There's very few options in here. So you only have, it's an either or kind of thing on your search to update. Could change to your the architecture that you're doing only, which can be good. To update, not installed. Okay. Could say all. What did I decide worked? Summaries? No, file names. I just keep searching VNC just because it's the one that I remember was working so poorly with the settings the other way. Well, that makes me think it may not be. Oh, when you enter, it doesn't do anything. It absolutely doesn't work. You have to see it. That would drive me insane. So that's a big strike against Fedora 26 now for me personally. I usually don't. Fedora, usually if you get like Fedora and it just came out, you know, as a full release, it's still at least 6 months of bugs and things not working quite right, and maybe even longer before they get it really working good. And so I usually don't actually install any alpha, beta, or whatever. I tried, running beta software back in my Windows days with Windows 98 and XP, and I got tired of messing with it. It was a real pain. So that brings up more, but that's not even close to, how many you can see when you get DNF working, right? Or if you were in Yum Extender. So, yeah, that's not a good search at all. It doesn't have Tiger VNC installed, though. I just now noticed that. So what if I searched for Vino? And what if I have to click over there and can't hit enter? I don't know which one's the best one to use in this particular case, since you can't do them all at the same time like you can in DNF. So now I'm thinking, oh, I want the regular DNF. Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to look for the Yum extender in the GUI here in the graphic. I'm not wanting to try to get virtual box remote desktop working in the virtual machine because it's actually harder to connect. That's how you connect to a virtual machine from your regular machine is through the network. That's how you do it. But it's sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Everything's got to be set right. So it didn't even show up. Try Yum EX. That's how it was, I believe, spelled in DNF, the Yum extender. Probably should. Oh, and file names. Let's try just names. Maybe that'll work. Oh, and I'm hitting enter like normal, and it's not doing anything. So, well, let's go back to file names. But just do Yum. I believe. Oh, I looked in the command line, and nothing but one app showed up. So I don't think I'm going to find more than just Yum in here like before. So I think this is answering my question to myself. Do I want to just switch on over to Fedora 26 right now? I'm beginning to think no. The thing is, that's making me want to shy away from it, period. Okay. Yeah, the searching is a bit slow. It was faster a while ago, I thought. If I run VirtualBox for a long time, it will start making my system. Oh, it doesn't even have the plain DNF app. Huh. DNF Yum. Huh. DNF Package Manager fork from Yum. Huh. And I did in file names, but look, the file name is not anything to do with Yum. The file name is just DNF. And then DNF, configuration files, right. And then DNF Yum, CLI compatibility layer. So here's what I would probably want. And since I'm not sure, I don't want to waste time, I'm just going to select everything I think I would want. Fedora repos. Well, aren't those already in there? I don't know. I'm going to do it now. Python 3 DNF. I'm going to do them all. It may or may not do anything anyway. It may crash on me again. Oh yeah, I forgot. The more apps, too many apps makes it crash, makes the operating system lock up. Well, that was real smart. Should have done the least, not the most. When you're in the virtual machine, you can't just do things the way you would when it's on your machine. But yeah, if I can get to some other package manager that I like, then that's really the only thing that I'm seeing that I don't like in here. Because it would be nice. Of course, you can just wait because Fedora's it's pretty much a rolling distro now. But it doesn't do it automatically. But if you'll install the upgrade apps, then it will just download. It will tell you when it's time and download this stuff. And what did I do? Hit search? Yeah, you have to hit apply down here. Okay, now what's it going to install? Well, it doesn't look like a lot of stuff. It's all just a few kilobytes. I got to see. Okay, 1.1 megabyte total. No big deal. Okay. And that little thing popping up is where it would normally have you type in your root password, but since it's a live system, it just gives you the root automatically, which is nice. Some of them you have to. Some distros they give you like a password, like a regular installed system, and if you don't, and sometimes it's hard to find on their website, and that's always a real nice pain. Or even if you get it and then of course you don't remember it, and then I finally got to where when I used to burn them to CDs, the ISOs to CDs, I would write it on the CD, but usually I can't. There's not enough room for me to write it on there, with a marker or whatever. You can't do it with a pen or pencil; it just come off. I can't write that. If you mess up, then you know what are you going to do? You can't cross. I've written on them before, and then in red, and then mark over it with red, and then write on it again with black. You know, and it gets to be a big mess. But so usually I have a sticky note stuck to that CD with the passwords and stuff like that. Okay, is it done or no? It's still working. But now that most machines will boot to USB, and I've even found there's a what's it called? There's a boot manager that will make even pretty darn old machines boot to USB. What's it called? Well, anyway, once I found that, I just got to where I don't, and it costs money to do that. USB you can reuse over and over. I tried using rewritables, but CDs, but they don't. They cost more. They're smaller, or they were. Of course, CDs are too small anyway now, and you can't. Well, I actually did have some rewritable DVDs, and I used them for recording videos on my. I have a DVD recorder. When they used to have those, and I'd record my TV shows and watch them back in the day. And then it quit working. It quit reading the drive. Everything else works. It's got a built-in digital tuner, ATSC tuner. Oh, it's not responding. It locked up again. So you're not going to be able to do that. So, but anyway, after it quit working, I tried out writing. It's the DVD RAM DVDs, and I only have one left. I had like 10 of them, and I let a friend of mine have them to watch the shows. And I never got them back. So I only have like one left. And anyway, I tried burning a Linux distro to it, and it would. And the computers that I had, I don't think the older ones could, but any fairly new, well, I'm saying within like 5 years or so, DVD drive would read them and boot to it. So you could do that. But USB is easier. So, okay, Fedora 26, would have to install it to find out for sure if I really liked it. It's just, other than the horrible search in the, horrible for me, search in the package manager, or is it, in the DNF Dragora, DNF Dragora. That's funny. That used to be a character in, was it old scary movies? Or I used to watch those Frankensteins and vampire movies when I was a kid growing up. Those old ones from the 40s, 30s and 40s and 50s. The Vincent Price movies and stuff. Anyway, Dragora was a character. I think it was in cartoons too. I'm not sure. It was a reoccurring character in different stories, but it wasn't always the same character that I remember, from what I remember. Okay, so that's pretty cool. But now I really don't know for sure. I would still have to just install it. Now, I don't want to blow off my new system on my laptop unless I really don't like it. The only thing right now that I don't, well, I'm concerned about those errors, like saying boot image crash and all that. The laptop, the desktop seems okay. It kept giving errors and saying things were crashing at it, but I haven't been running it a whole lot. I keep fiddling with all going back and forth. You got to sit there and work on them for a while to see what's going to happen, But the only thing, with not being able to do remote desktop, I can't make the videos that I wanted to make. But other than that, as far as just using the system, well, one thing about it is it just may not be. I did watch YouTube videos, and boy, that it started really working the processor right away after just watching a few. And it depends. Like the thing is, the higher quality of the video, the more it works the processor. So if you I need to watch enough different videos to see if it's going to be able to keep up. It was already having trouble with that on Fedora 21, and I wasn't sure if it's because the system was kind of bloated from all the apps I had on it, or it's because the the codecs were bloated and using up more processing power. So that's what I was trying to find out. So what I may end up doing, and I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to choose another image, but this time I'm not going to do any more Fedora. That was a good. I mean, you could always go and do XFCE. You know, that would be lighter weight. But that's enough on the Fedora 26. I want to go to Debian. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and boot that up right quick, and then I haven't downloaded it yet, but what I was talking about doing the download and all that with Unetbootin, the app that you can use to install with. I think I might just take a break and then make a second video of that. But let's just go ahead and boot it up so I can finish talking about what I'm talking about. Shouldn't take long at all to boot it up. Oops. I'm considering reformatting that laptop again, and let's see, live, and so you can download a live version of Debian. You got to pay attention and go to the right area on the site, and I don't know if I can do that with Unetbootin or not. I'll have to look and see. But you can oh yeah, I could download Debian 9, but and try it out. But see, this is the live version. I download the ISO, and it has you've got regular PAE, PA failsafe, 586 failsafe. Oh, okay. PA. This is 586, and then there's 686. Then there's install, graphic install, advanced options. Okay. It's about capturing the mouse. I'm going to hit cancel because I didn't even really want to. That might get me kind of, might have to remember the keys to get back out. Probably not, but it depends on the operating system of the ISO you're messing with at the time. Actually, I would probably want to go ahead and do the x86. I hadn't paid much attention to that, but let's just do that. Because this is a quad core machine that I'm running on here with 4 gig RAM, so that's going to be closer to what is architecture. And those always come up. You can tell them not to come up, but sometimes I don't use it sometimes I don't use it for months, and I might forget how to do things, so it's best to have the tutorials for me, I think. There it is. Boy, that was even faster than Fedora. So that was my whole point. It's so much lighter on the resources. So as long as the web browser would work good, this is Debian 8. I think it's 8.7. It's Debian Jesse. And I noticed today I was on the website, it's 8.8 is what they have out now. It's the official release, and then you could download 9. It's still in beta or alpha beta or whatever they call it. So, and I noticed, Debian used to come with quite a few apps. So standard Debian, now it's kind of thinned down more like, it looks just like you're looking at, this is a Mate desktop, so it looks just like, almost just like Fedora. And there's Synaptic package manager. That's used to be my very favorite. I actually tried to install it out on my Fedora 23 system, on my Fedora 25 system, but it wouldn't run. It won't even run on Fedora anymore. You could install it; it was there, but it wouldn't run. You might be able to make it run if you did a bunch of work, but this is the system that I put on I booted up live on my laptop, and then I installed the KRFB and Vino, and I connected straight to it on the remote desktop. And I did that before I started making the video because I didn't know it was going to work, and then I just started making a video and said, hey, it works, But okay, where's the web browser? Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, it has Firefox ESR and Iceweasel Firefox ESR. So I don't know really. I've used Iceweasel in Debian a lot over the years, but I don't know what's the Firefox ESR. I don't know. I have to look that up. Okay, so there's a usual Firefox. Oops, I rolled my mouse wheel and it went away. It went away completely instead of doing that. So that's, gives you all the features of Firefox. Let's see. What I was wondering is if it would play a YouTube video right off the bat, or if you're going to have to install stuff or what. Well, it's playing that, whatever that is, advertisement. So you definitely need ad block on there. Of course, I knew that. You always do in Firefox now, or any web browser. It's weird because I'm not, without being logged into my account, I'm seeing all different things. And I'm like, well, I don't see anything I want to see there, Wonder. I don't know what that is. I see, oh, it's playing. Okay, I'm going to stop it because this, you end up having my video flagged from copyright. I just remember that. I guess I should have. That probably won't work either. No, I don't. My own name doesn't find. Oh, well, stuff was in the way and I couldn't see what I was typing. Type my own name and I don't find my own videos. Okay, so yeah, see there's my name at the top there. Oh, that's me live now. Okay, well that wasn't what I wanted, but there's my channel. So go to my videos. Well, it works right off the bat. I had to fiddle around and do all kinds of things to get it to work in Fedora 25. Forget what I had to do. Oh, I had to go and install. I'll show that in a second. So it's the last video I made. Yeah, there was an ad. So that works. I don't even remember what I was doing at that point. Part 12 XFCE Live Security. Oh, okay. That's yeah, Fedora 25. Okay, so where's the home button on this thing? They got it all in different places from where I like it. Okay, so I got to find the. There we go, menu bar. Okay, now. Tools, I believe. Oh, I think it's already not. There we go. Add-ons. What I had to do in Firefox 25 was go to plugins. Well, that's not turned on. Now, this is what I had to do. Now, that's weird because it wouldn't play a single video until I had to say, it says never activate, and I changed it to always activate. And this is the OpenX264. And this is how I thought this is how I fixed it. It's what's strange. At least I thought I'd fixed it. And then I had to say, it didn't turn it on right away. It says it will be installed shortly. And it kept doing that. I opened and closed it like 3 times. And finally I said, check for updates. And it said, no updates found. And then I think I opened it and closed it. And it was installed and up and running. Let's see if it does that. But it's already working, so I mean it doesn't need. Although I like to have that turned on, but it doesn't need fixing. No, so I guess it's going to do it when it gets darn good and ready. I guess I just finally did it. Is what had happened. I could say clicked it. Well, I just hit updates and it just said. Oh, I hate when it does that. Look at that. It won't work. I don't know what. There. Now it works. I clicked in there twice. It did it again. I don't know what's up with that. I think it's just something to do with VirtualBox. Okay. It says you're using older Firefox. Yeah. What version is it? 45. Yeah, that's a lot older. I think we're up to like 53, I think. 50.3 or 53. So anyway, that should probably, of course, this is not going to be running long enough to do it, but and no extensions, of course, no add-ons or anything. But But that's all you need for most things now. I mean, you might need IST. I don't know if that's on here or not. Some systems go ahead and put it on there. IST will play Java applets. But I don't know what's the difference there. But it'll play regular YouTube videos. And look, it looked like, well, I clicked on the other one that was not mine, and it worked too. So, yeah, that's a good thing. And I'll go ahead and open up Synaptic Package Manager and see if there's any VNC apps installed in there already. I mean, it does. It's not. Let's see. Oh yeah, it tells you to about super user and all the things you need to know about that. So it's not. It's not a deal breaker for me. I don't use VNC all that much on my. Well, especially on the laptop, I don't necessarily. If I have it on there, I don't want it to run all the time because I don't want. If you do take it anywhere, you don't want VNC running on it. But let's see. See how good that search works, and it's faster too. And there's some kind of VNC server right there. There's Vino. That's the one that I put in there last time. So if I installed that, and that's only one other thing that it installs, and then I would want KRFB. And that's how I got it working last time. And then it installs more stuff. And I don't know, in the virtual machine, I don't know if it can do that or not. It couldn't in Fedora. Oops. See, the rolling, the mouse wheel doesn't work right. Okay, so I'm just going to try it and see. And you can click that and see everything as it comes in. But that rolling by bothers my eyes so much that I usually leave it like that. And yeah, it's doing pretty quickly there. See, it's not much time left. Everything looks pretty good. Yeah, Debian is only using 15. I saw 17 a minute ago. A lot less memory, 687. It's about 400 megabytes. Oh no, there was about 500 megabytes left or something like that. Less. 7, 8, 9, 10. No, more like 3.5. I can't say it right. Look at there, it went down to not even using any CPU. That's because it's finished with its installation. So that's while I was installing packages. So there's a comparison between running Fedora, the newest Debian and the newest Fedora releases while installing packages, which is one of the heavier things you'll do on them besides web browsing. Oh, some of them couldn't be received. Do you want to continue ignoring these packages? That's odd. I guess I'll say no. There wouldn't be any point. Oh, and that'll tell you what it is. MySQL. I mean, I don't think it would work without them. I'm sure if you were installed, well, it worked. The only difference is I'm using a different version. I was running the 586. I'm using the 686. So maybe there's something different. I'm using the PAE 686 kernel this time. But it worked just fine in live before, so I don't know. It really shouldn't be all that much difference. I mean, you could install the 586, and then if it's on your hardware of your machine, it's going to start updating to your hardware automatically anyway. And I don't know. I always forget. I used to couldn't ever run the PAE kernel, but that now I need that on most of my machines. I forgot the details of what it is really for, but it's for newer hardware. And that's the other thing. I'm not on the laptop. I'm on the virtual machine. That could be the main reason why it's not working. That is probably the main reason. I just remembered that. I'm not on my laptop. I'm on a virtual machine. So I'm already getting pretty hoarse. I may have to not make any more video today. Oh, it's 7:30 p.m. too. Got up later today. I get up to about 9. So there's the file searcher. It doesn't have, you have to install the XFCE app finder. I don't think it has an app finder. Yeah, the file searcher is okay, but it's not great. I don't even know what to search for. Didn't find anything named file in the user anyway. I just clicked on it with it. There's the installed Debian. Oh, let's look at that. The installer made it lock up on my other one. Huh, it looks all different. It's not the way it opened up before. Oh, it's saying it needs root privileges. Oh, the live system kernel and the installer kernel don't match. Oh, so there's probably, like I said, probably the reason I'm running the PAA 586 and my virtual machine is not PAE capable. So if I said reboot and went ahead with the 586 like normal, it might be okay. Yeah, this time I'll leave it just like that. Let's see. I don't think I'll try the Vino again, though. I'm not going to try to connect to it, so I wouldn't even know if it was working or not. But that's how I did it, and it worked. Yeah, that might be the thing. I kept kind of thinking that. I think that there's some things, there's two things that could be a problem with the laptop, and I won't know until I put it on the laptop. And that's the Wi-Fi drivers and the video chip drivers. Those could be a real pain in the butt to get working on the Bang. I mean, I don't do gaming or anything, so I don't really need all the big 3D support and all that junk. But I do want it to all work right, and I want the Wi-Fi driver to work. And if that's a real pain to get going, I just remembered I found in my folders, my files and stuff. I think I had to. I found I didn't find the Wi-Fi driver. I was going to say that, but no, that's not what I found. I found the for Fedora. For Fedora, was Fedora 21 at the time, the video chip driver for that Dell 1525 laptop. So evidently I had installed that, and it was the Linux too. It wasn't the Windows version. It was a Linux version. So evidently that's what I had done, because I installed OBS Studio on the laptop. I don't know if I did that in the video, but I installed OBS Studio and it wouldn't run. I didn't, because it didn't work, so I didn't do it. So what was it I was doing that didn't work on here? So, but the thing is, it can be sometimes harder. I mean, like a lot of compiling and command line work in Debian, whereas you can just download the to RGZ and extract it and run it in Fedora a lot of times. But you never know. Sometimes it's the other way around. Okay, so I already forgot what it was I was fixing to do that didn't work. What was I doing? Now, that little delay there in your feed, maybe if I start playing my feed, would I hear myself? Dadgummit. Must be tired. Let's go ahead and open up iSweasel while I'm in a fog here. Let's see if it looks any different or anything. I don't think it'll look any different, but it's Wonder if the I can't go without my menu bar. See, now I can go to the history, see if there's any. No, this one doesn't have any. It doesn't share history. I was wondering if I could get back to my YouTube channel real quick and easy. There it is. It's an old video of mine. See, it works. I had hit escape and it took that long to respond. So I'm going to close that browser before it overwhelms things too much. Stream still looks good though. Okay. No wonder my voice is tired. I've been doing video for an hour and 46 minutes. Been sitting here talking for that long. So I guess the one thing that's actually interesting me right now is the one thing that I said wasn't necessary for me to do. And that's to see if that those packages would install. Look at the difference there and the ease of use of a good working package manager search. And the way it was in Fedora 26. Yeah, it kind of makes me wish, now the way they've changed things, it makes me think, well, maybe it'd be worth the effort to try to make, I don't think that Synaptic will find, I swear it used to find RPM Fedora packages and Debian packages. But I think the only thing it'll do, well, I guess it would if you put the repos in it. That was the hard thing, is you had to hand edit the repo data list files, whatever they were, the repository configuration files. You had to. It's in Fedora. It's like etc at etc repos d or something like that, somewhere in there, and you had to go edit them, and that's hard because if you got to get every little thing right from the work right, and I'm not good at that. If you, I mean, you can usually just, like RPM Fusion, you just either run the commands or download the file and run the little. Okay, it still didn't work. So it's more than just, it's not the difference between 586 and 9686 kernel. It's just not going to work in the, virtual machine here. Quit and discard changes. Now, I don't remember what it was I was doing that brought up the second error after I had tried that. Whatever it was. Oh, the installer. That's what it was. The installer. Okay. Why'd you tell me that? I've been asking for 15 minutes. Okay, now there's the installer. So see, there you go. Yeah, the installer, I had picked the wrong installer. So I'm just flipping through it real quick. I don't want to install it on my virtual machine. I could because I don't have anything installed on there, but I don't think I might. Can't remember if I ever installed anything or not. I have a WinXP installed on that other virtual machine. But that's how it goes. The last time I started running it when it was on the laptop, it actually, I need to pay attention. I might, that laptop would really be, it's really a 686. It's not a 586. I'm just going to leave it like it is. And, our time zone. I could end up doing the install. If I don't, I'm getting to the dist portion. Now, I think it locked up before I got to this last time. That's what I was saying, is it locked up. The installer locked up. Might have been where it locked up. I don't remember where I was. But the installer locked up the whole system is what happened. But that was actually on my laptop, wasn't it? Yeah, it was on the laptop. No, I wasn't. Or was I? Was I in VirtualBox? No, because I hadn't done that. Or was I? Completely can't remember now. Okay, continue with no disk drive. Okay, let's see. No disks were detected. So it's not detecting the virtual disk. So continue with no disk drive or pick one. I was going to see if it had a virtual disk. So I wouldn't, I don't want to continue. I mean, I'm not trying to install it in there. I don't have any need to do that. Whatever happened, it locked up. This time it's not locked up. It's just, how do you get out of here? Oh, I clicked screenshot because it was doing something that I wanted to show an error, and I think that's what locked it up. Okay, so I want to get out of it. I don't know how you can get out of it, though. I guess I'll just shut the temporary system down. Okay, power off the machine. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, see, like my XP, it has this is actually installed to this 10 gigabyte virtual disk. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Maybe I don't. Well, you have to have some sort of virtual disk set up to even do this, I think. So maybe if I took that out of there, it would just says empty. Maybe it doesn't have one in there. Let's see. So if I choose another image, I was just thinking, let's go back to, go back to Fedora. Let's go back to Fedora again and go to 26. Now, I'll go to i386 this time, and I'll go to XFCE. We'll just see what it looks like. I was wanting to know that. And then that'll probably be enough playing for today. Let's go back up there and just start it instead of checking the image. Yes, a little doing okay. Making sure everything's working. Yeah, I definitely like having my laptop running with my admin page for my live stream. I can just glance over there and know everything's okay. That's the way to do it. And the laptop hasn't started spinning the fan real fast, so it's not being overwhelmed. I can always know when it's being worked hard. The fan will start spinning like crazy. So with it paused, you know, it's not playing the video. If I can just remember to pause it, then of course if it's sitting there where I can look at it, I can see that it's playing. Okay, XFCE, connection established. Some kind of security alert. Let's see what that is. SE Linux. Those will happen a lot, on and off, you know. Okay, light DM. That's that's the desktop. That's part of the desktop stuff. I think it's the effects. They're using them on the XFCE, I guess. So I'm going to say troubleshoot. Let's see. And attempted to access create on the directory cache. Well, it probably just something that would only happen in the there's a previous one in the live session. Let's see. USERADD. Okay. Tried to write on the system bus socket. Oh, there's 4 of them. Same thing. RNGD. It's pretty small for me, just being in this virtual window here, you know, inside of my big old monitor. Anyway, if you're not familiar with it, you know, it'll tell you the commands there if you wanted to let it do it. But as long as my system's running okay, and most of the time I don't even know really for sure what that stuff is, you know, I just leave it alone. I have done it before because there's been times when I knew what it was and I wanted the system to do that, you know. But here's the applications. It's going to be the same applications. Well, is there more? Well, that's settings. It's just in a different order. Yum Extender DNF. Oh my gosh. So XFCE has Yum Extender DNF in Fedora 26. Well, that I like. There's only a few things I don't like about XFCE. There's a few features and easy ways to set things up and do things that's not in or hasn't been in XFCE, and that's the main reason. Because it's easy to set it up to make it look just like Mate. I can put this stuff on the bottom, get rid of that, and have we'll just leave this like it is, and just get all my different desktops down on the bottom. Leave everything like it is, but get rid of these and put another bar. Change this bar to be full width. I don't like all that in there. I just want to have my open apps and my workstation switchers in there at the bottom. Well, you can see it right here, just how the top and bottom of the window is right here. That's how I want it. Now, I've done it on XFCE before. It takes a little while to remember how to do it, but it's not hard to do. Catfish file search, and it comes with the app searcher, wherever that is. I saw it a minute ago. And oh yeah, well, there's the icon for it right down there. If you like this kind of deal, it's a nice way to have a desktop set up the way it is. I like to keep everything the way I've been running things for years. That's the way us old folks are. We just want to keep everything the same. I actually like changes in certain things, but not this. It's got Abbey word on it, but let's see, does it? Yeah, I don't think it has Open Office or LibreOffice. You have to install that. So, of course, none of that's too hard. I mean, there's lots of apps that I was looking through that. I guess I'll go in there and kind of show that. Yeah, I will. There's the Blivit. So, yeah, I want to open up Yum Extender. That's really the only thing I'm all that interested in right now. Okay, that's it right there. Plain old Yum Extender. Now that puts me onto an idea that I had. That's why I downloaded those images, so that I could check the different desktops. But while that's getting itself all up and ready, let me go in here. And where is this? I don't know where I was. Must have been on my backup drive. Sometimes I forget and I go straight to it. Well, I go to it when I think that I don't have it on this drive here. Yeah, there it is. DNF install scripts. I had already made a couple in Fedora 23. And click on view and I'll show it. So what you can do, you can run the command that lists, I don't know if it's in here or not. I've already edited all this and turned it into a script, but what this was originally, oh, there it is. There it is. I don't know if you have to run it sudo or if you can just do su and then, but DNF group list. You run that command. I did that in another video. Yeah, you can. I remember you can do it either way, and it will give you this whole list of groups. These I put in. See, all this from right here up I put in there. And actually, the other day when I opened it up, that's how it was. And then I thought, you know what? Instead of retyping this junk again and again or copy and pasting it, I just uncommented. I think I had went and commented all those. They don't do that in the command line. But I copied and pasted, or well, like some terminal windows, you can actually save your output as a file. But anyway, I went through, and some of these I think are duplicates. So I got to go through and make sure I don't have duplicates, but. That's the command DNF group install, and then put the name of these names. See, if I wanted to install cloud infrastructure, I would just copy and paste DNF group install in front of it and put quotation marks around the cloud structure, I can do it just to show what I'm trying to say. So I would say if I wanted to install cloud structure, I would do that. Oh, I did that on view only. So I click on edit. This is in Crusader File Manager, by the way. That's what I'm doing it in. Let's say these are different desktops. I did want to have the different desktops. Let's say where's KDE? I think I already did it. Mate, XFCE. I think KDE's up here somewhere. Look and see. That's something I would probably want to do. So LXDE, cinnamon, sugar. There it is, KDE. Okay, so I deleted the number sign, which that's called commenting it out. It means it'll be ignored when you run the script, and so you want it to be commented. You want it commented out if you don't want to do it, but if you wanted to do it, then get rid of the number sign. And so I just copied and pasted DNF group install, and I put my quotation marks on there. And now that's going to happen. So if I hit save, it's going to install all these groups and these desktops. Some are groups of apps and some are groups of application types like medical applications, network servers, and all these different things. And what makes it an install script is this part right up here at the top. And oddly enough, bin bash needs to be just like that with the number sign in front. But DNF space /y space install space / dash dash, however you want to say it, not /dash, skip dash broken. I did read up, and skip broken does work. It's supposed to work in DNF now. They say it does. And then, see, these are some I just put in here manually. And they really need to be on one line also to work. Either that or on separate lines like this. And so the old way I used to do it is just put it all on one continuous line. You can have word wrap in you can turn on and off word wrap, but see it's off. You can have word wrap turned on, and that's easy to see what you're doing and edit and everything. But you want to turn it off and make sure that it doesn't have any returns in it, because it will break it if you have returns in it. It will stop installing at that return. So you want it to be, when you look at it without word wrap, you want it to be one continuous line. And I discovered, for years I ran them like that, and then I discovered you can also put them on separate lines like this. And so that right there would install. You run that in the terminal window. Well, actually, what you do, save again. What you do, you want to make sure it's executable. Right click on that file, properties, permissions. It's got to be executable like that. Hit cancel. So you can either right click and say run, but it's really best to open up a terminal. I don't want to run that in here, but open up a terminal window. I have it set to open a terminal in that folder, so in Crusader here. So when my terminal window opens up, it'll be in that folder, so it'll find the file. Otherwise, you've got a CD to the folder and all that stuff. So you'd hit / and then what you can do is right click on it, say properties, and select all, copy, and then right click in here, paste, and then you'd hit enter, and it would run that command and run that script and install all that stuff. Now, I definitely don't want to do it on this system. Don't even have room for all that extra stuff. But on a brand new system, that would be the stuff I'd want to install. This one is just like I was talking about. This is just one that some of it I hand typed out and some of it I copied and pasted in there. I've made some that are longer, but they have some older apps from Fedora 14 and all, and stuff like that aren't even available anymore. And I was trying to make new scripts. See, at first, when Fedora 23 first came out, skip broken wasn't working, and so you couldn't have any apps in your install script. That's why I quit using them. That were not even one single app that wasn't in the repo or else it would break it and it wouldn't run. It would just stop. So I haven't tried it yet, but it should work now because they say this Get Broken is working now. Now what will happen is if there are any apps that are broken, and not broken apps, but they're broken in the sense that they won't install, then it'll skip them. But most of the time, everything will be fine. If you do have an app that you go to and it won't run, then you can always just go and install it. And you can actually use something in DNF that will, you can in Yum anyway, you can use an app that gets rid of orphan. They call them orphan apps. So, and you can tell it to clean up and get rid of orphan apps. There's commands to do it too, but there's usually a GUI setting in there. See, Yum extender. Let's see if it's in here in this. This is ready to use. So this is Fedora 26. Now, of course, first thing I want is my search to work right. So BNC is just bringing up 2 apps. So I'm going to click this, change it to fields. Now see, there's only those 2 selected. Now check that. Now, so you can hit enter like normal. Okay, now it's working good. Okay. Now let me see about, let's get it back to so all the red ones, of course, would need to be updated, but you want to do that in a live system. And you can use these buttons here and switch, and you can just look through groups of applications, similar to what I was just showing, those groups that you do in the command line. Well, this is the GUI version of groups. There's audio production, and I haven't tried it this way because I haven't been using the DNF app, but you right there, you could select every one in that group, but you would probably get junk you'd get a bunch of junk. You'd get stuff that you don't want or need. So I'm pretty sure. Now, it could work. I haven't tried it. So doing it this way could work in the same way as installing groups with the terminal commands. I'm going to go find out once I get the system that I want to use. Depending on what I use, if I use Debian, that'll be a whole different thing. But see, now there's LibreOffice. Now, in that case, I would do all those, you know. Didn't go away. There we go. Medical. Go away. Don't come back. Go away. Medical applications. Well, I may want one or not of the other. Now, it is a good way to look through. If you want to look through and you don't know, you know, like if you're really new to all of it, I don't know why they're not going away. My selections aren't going away. Then there's other things. See, like desktops, your different desktops. That's an easy way to install a desktop. I think it's just not responding is what it is. Maybe if I do that and don't click again, it'll sooner or later. There's made applications, made compiz. That's the desktop that you get when you install. When you install a distro with mate, it'll be mate compiz, and I guess that's mate without the compiz. Compiz is the effects and all that stuff. And I don't know, maybe that would make it lighter. You know, I haven't actually tried it without compiz, but I don't turn on all those effects. I just leave it on the basic stuff. I mean, I like a few effects, but I don't want the box. The spinning box is really neat when I first saw it, but it bothered my eyes, and so I couldn't really use it. There's a lot of things you can do. It'll flip from it'll be like a video, you know. It'll do wipes and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, you could do that. Yeah, but that, I don't know why I can't get those to deselect now. But and then there's your history, what you've been looking at, and then the queue, what's going to happen when you click, you know, the gears to make it apply pending actions. But okay, now let's look in the preferences. Basic stuff there. Show toolbar and window header. I turned that on once. I don't remember what it did. Select updates at startup. I wouldn't really do that myself because you could, but sometimes, like say in a live system, you don't want to do that because you don't want it to force you to install the updates along with. You just want to install the app. You don't want to fool with the updates right now, you know. So, but I do like automatic updates. I always turn that on, and you have to. I think you could just use a GUI function right up here in the system, but now I think you have to I know ever since Fedora 23, or maybe even, yeah, I think I had to do it in Fedora 21. You have to go and edit some config files and junk. It's not hard, but it's just stupid because it used to not be that way. Update checker at login, that's already turned on, but it just checks, so I think it's just going to tell you updates are available. Show newest only. Yeah, I wouldn't really change any of that. Oh, well, I was looking for orphan package cleanup. I don't guess it's in there. And there's the only repositories in here unless you add some more. But you can do that easily enough. At least most of them. RPM Fusion's easy to do. I did that in a video recently. I did it on my laptop. But show toolbar and window header. I'm not sure. Okay, there it is. What is it going to do? Yeah, and if it would leave the search up all the time, I would probably really like that. Looks, there's the search. If that's the toolbar it's talking about, and it stays there. Okay, now I like that. I tried that on my laptop, and I swear it didn't do anything at all. Maybe it was one of the bugs, one of the things that kept crashing. So there you go. And if that would stay there, then I would really be happy with that. Oh, this is Fedora 26. That's right. So maybe it's working in 26. There you go. This is XFCE Fedora 26. Now that's okay. I like that. That's the way my Fedora 23 looks. More like it. The only difference is all these buttons are on the left instead of the right. But when I open it up, DNF and Fedora 23, it looks just like this right here, but these are on the left side. So there you go. Vino's already installed. I bet KRFB's not installed. Let's see if we can install it for the fun of it. Okay. Probably lock it up, but maybe since it's a lighter desktop, it won't lock it up. We'll see. If I could find out real quick if it works. If it does, it'll pop up and tell you your IP address, and I can try to go to it with VirtualBox. I mean with or BNC. Now that might be something I could do. It would be Fedora that I'm used to, but just go ahead and use XFCE desktop. I use it quite a bit on my older computers, and I don't mind it. But there are some things that just don't work at all, or are very hard to make them work in XFCE. But I especially love I use it. See, I have it right here, the App Finder. In Mate, you can't integrate it into Mate. You have to just have it as an icon. I got too many things going on. I clicked on it and it's not even coming up. But see, that's getting a little higher in the CPU usage there. So I really shouldn't have been given. There it goes. That's what it looks like in my Mate desktop. So who is that? That is Edison? That's an electric car. If you didn't know, electric cars were popular actually before gas cars. They're very popular in the early 1900s. And the gas cars ended up being more popular, and they quit making electric cars. Looks like it's working. So I'm getting me a cough drop. Really having trouble with my throat. Looks like it's working. But let's see if everything's looking. Yeah. Boy, I'm getting leery that I'm talking for a long time and I'm not showing what I think I'm showing. Oh, it's 2 hours and 14 minutes. Nobody ever watches videos this long. I mean, I'll go through a long video and flip through it, but I will watch an hour-long video sometimes if it's really interesting to me. But I wouldn't watch 2 hours and 14 minutes unless it was a blockbuster movie. And then I'd probably watch it in 2 settings. Okay. So it doesn't seem boring when you're the one doing it. But I have flipped through lots of long videos, just kind of, get on the little bar. That little, if you, I don't know, I guess everybody knows that. Well, you get on the red bar and just click ahead a little bit, and it'll jump forward. If you hit the little forward-looking buttons, it'll go to all the way to the end. You know what? I bet a lot of people don't know that. I'm surprised sometimes at some of the things that people don't know about, computer and web navigation and stuff. I don't realize that they hadn't done it all day, every day for the last 19 years, like me. I keep thinking that's going to be done any second there. But it looks like it's working unless it ends up hanging up. It's definitely uses up some stuff there, some resources, but that's not to be unexpected. But yeah, see, that's XFCE, but look how much it uses, 26% CPU of a quad core, and about the same amount of RAM as Mate did. There is difference, but it's not as near as wide of a difference between the resource usage in Mate and XFCE as it used to be. But it's enough difference, like I have an Opinion 4 that I've got like Fedora 22 XFCE on it, and you can use Kdenlive and edit videos. It'll take quite a bit longer to render them, but you can do your editing fine. I mean, it's a little bit slow, you'll notice it, but you can spend hours editing videos, and then I don't think it takes twice as long, probably like another quarter as percentage-wise longer to do the rendering. But the thing is that old machine makes lots of heat and it's noisy, and I can't stand having it run it in here that long. So one time I had it. Last time I used it, I let it render a 2-hour video or something, and it took over 24 hours to do it. But I don't. I've done plenty of hour-long videos on this. I've only done a couple on this. I've done them on dual cores, but on this quad core, it's the one I use all day, every day, and I just cannot find a time when I want to let it render. Well, actually, I had Kdenlive running on here, and then something happened. I don't know. I guess some kind of updates broke. Sometimes updates will break other things, and Kdenlive won't work on here anymore. It'll open up, but it will crash if you try to use it. You can't even sit there and use it for a while. I'm afraid I'm in trouble here with what I'm doing. I think it's locking up that little live system, just like in the other Mate desktop. Yep. It's not. Can't click on anything anymore. See, the mouse will not even focus in and do anything in there. That's when you. Oh, and the spinner, the little bar. Oh, where'd it go? Okay, sit over to the left of my cursor. It stopped spinning, so you know it's locked up. You just can't install stuff in Fedora 26 in the VirtualBox live. I mean, that's not to be unexpected. Sometimes you can. Usually you can do it on a hardware system in live, but oh, wait a minute, I think it started working again. No, it didn't either. Maybe if I would quit, if I had a little more patience, it would work. Yeah, it used a little less resources now. I think it might be working. It hasn't pulled up any errors yet like it did before. But you see, the mouse just disappears when I go over it instead of trying to work. If you click in the middle there, it doesn't make it capture and start working. I was right there towards the end. What was I trying to do? Okay, RFB. Yeah, it's not anything important. Oh, now it's back to sitting there but not spinning. Yeah, back to 26%. Okay, I'm going to kill it. I keep fiddling around with things that I know probably won't work. So, the only other thing there's one other thing that I thought, I didn't try 64-bit yet. Let's see if it'll run in there. Since they boot up so fast, might as well. It's actually, I'm seeing really overall less errors in Fedora 26 than I was with Fedora 25 over there on my laptop. Now, if I put it on my laptop, I might be a different story. Might very well indeed. And that's the other thing. I think that Debian, I just won't know till I try it. So I think that Debian may support the older hardware better than, well, other than I'm not so sure about the wireless and all that. That's what I don't know about. But I may just go ahead and install Debian on it and see how it does on the laptop. Because there we go. That was pretty quick. I didn't really try to install the Wi-Fi driver on the that one you can find. You've got to look on your chip. When I first got that, I usually do that. When I first get a computer, I'll take it and blow it out. With a laptop, I'll take it apart enough to just take the covers off and stuff. I don't take it apart, just take the covers off. Take pictures of the Wi-Fi card and all that stuff, and the numbers on the hard drive and all that. And the Wi-Fi card especially, that's the only way you're going to find the right Linux drivers for your Wi-Fi card is to know the numbers on it. And then you can find it in the repos most of the time. I did. I found my pictures, and I finally remembered. I couldn't remember at first whether I had to download them or what. But so there's the app finder in Fedora 26 64-bit XFCE desktop. Has Claus Mail on it. See how nice that is. Has AbiWord, so you'd need to install. AbiWord's okay, but I really, of course, I used to use Microsoft Word, and so I went from there to OpenOffice, and then LibreOffice became the popular one, and so I've used either one of them, whichever one is either comes with the system or whichever one. Now, if I have a choice, I usually just go ahead and install LibreOffice now. So, yeah. That's all right. I don't mind the look and feel of that at all. And I especially like this Yum Extender DNF 100. Now that I figured out how to set it to where to search right, I like it 100 times better than that, whatever that other one was. I've already forgot the name of it. That was in the Mate desktop. Well, I haven't. Of course, I didn't even try Fedora 3 because Fedora Genome 3. By the way, I'm probably for all these years have been saying that wrong because I imagine it's supposed to be gnome, like a yard gnome, but it didn't dawn on me for years. I just saw I say things the way they're spelled. I always have ever since I was a little kid because I learned to sound out words by the way they were spelled. That's the way they taught us in school. Of course, that's not always right, especially with names, but image viewer. But so I've always called it Genome, just like Debian. That looks like Debian to me, and I see people calling it Debian. The first time I heard somebody say that, it was a girl making Linux videos. She made really good. She was really good and really smart. She called it Debian. I used to chuckle. And then I heard, and over the years since then, I've heard guys saying that. And so I don't know what's supposed to be right. I call it Debian. It's Dunar File Manager on it, which is a good one. I like it because, well, I like the way it works, but overall, I mean, I only like to use I use Crusader Twin Panel File Manager. I can't live without it. One of the first things I put on a system. But if it's a live system or something and I need to get something done, it's really the only thing I really like about it. There's two things. You can right click and say Open Terminal here, That's invaluable. The other thing is, if you need root privileges and you want to, change the you need you need to change the file permissions or the folder permissions or both. Then you can open up Thunar in a root. Let's say you were here and you needed to change. Well, let's go back. Say you were here and you wanted to change the permissions on the downloads folder, and it was owned by root. Well, let's see. Let's go to file system. You're in root. Whoop, you can't go there. Well, you can go there, but you can't. There's nothing in there. Well, let's say. Well, I don't want to. Well, let's just do this. Okay. So I would say open terminal here. Oh, didn't work. Oh, because the permission is denied. Okay, so let's go back to our own folders where we can do that. Home, live user. Okay, so open terminal here. Now, you would say SU, and then you would say Thunar. Opens it up with root privileges, says, warning, warning, you can foul up your system. I know, that's what I want to do today. And so then you would go to file system root. There's your Anaconda kickstart file. That's for installing. See, you couldn't see that a minute ago. Couldn't see anything. So, so now you want to make a folder in there. Let's see. Create document, empty file, create a folder. There you go. You couldn't do that before, And you don't have to do it in the command line. You can do it in a graphic app. Let's say you wanted to change the properties of this, the permissions. See, it says read and write for root, and then others, no access. So you could change it to read only, for instance. Okay, now I'm going to go over here to my other file manager, the normal one. Now remember, I went to root, I couldn't see anything. Oh, you still can't. Let me go back. Let me move this to the other workspace too, so I can stop being confused. Okay, now let's say downloads. I want to say this is with root privileges. Access. Oh, others. I forgot to change access. So read only. Oh, read only. Okay. Why didn't I see it? I don't know. Maybe I'm going too fast for myself here. I guess I would have to change permissions in the root folder, which you wouldn't want to do that, but let's see, permissions, others. Well, access means like users on the machine. Others would be like network users. So yeah, you wouldn't want to change it to anything in the root folder. You're probably not going to want to change it to ever let others even access it. Making a liar out of me. The best way I can kind of show it is I just remembered something. Go to my documents. It'd be the same principle, but downloads documents. Now, I just made this folder earlier today, and okay, I can go into that one. Where did I make that? Oh, I did it on my laptop or something. Oh, my server. Okay. Okay, well, here's what I'm trying to say. I made a file in this folder, I think is what I did. This one here. And I had done it with this app, and it was running in root privileges, and I couldn't access it. But see, now it says root. Okay, see, the owner is root. I need to go, yeah, so I hadn't changed this one. I need to change it to Dawn, me. I think the rest of them are okay. Everything I save with that app, I have to run it as root privilege. It's the only way it'll run, and it's been changed. So what I can do though is in Crusader, I'll show you why I like it so much. Click on that. I put that up there. It doesn't normally stay there, but open up Crusader root mode. Put in your root password, and it'll open up in the same directories. Sometimes it doesn't want to open up in certain directories. If it doesn't open up at all, then change your directories you're in, and it'll be fine. So now, see now you can. What happened? Oh, somehow it switched on me. This is Crusader root mode. Make sure that you're in the right one. And also, it won't be ordered the way you had it. See the sort order, so I changed it back to the way I have it with the newest at the top. Now, right-click, Properties, Permissions. Now, it's owned by root. First thing I want to do is change the owner because I don't want that file to be owned by root. And then you can say group can read. Group can read and write. That would mean anybody on the computer. Others, you could just say just read. That's fine. Now, I didn't try opening the file up. Well, I don't want to open up that app, but back in regular user, and it should say owner Don. There we go. That's the way we want it. Now, that's the way I do everything. Do it in Crusader. There's so much that you can do with this application. You can rename files, batch rename files. I was looking to see if everything's okay. So, in Thunar, you can do these things too, but it's a little different, and I get a little turnaround trying to do it. So if I had, say, this file, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go to, see if I can do it with the other app. Okay, I want to go to Live User. Let's put it in Documents. Error opening root and accounting permission denied. Okay, so we'll hit cancel. Now let's go back into the root mode Thunar, and let's go. I'll just go to File System, Home, Live User, Documents, paste. Now let's see what the permissions are. Permissions are read only, and that's all. Okay, that's okay for now. I should be able to, there it is, Anaconda CFG. I should be able to, it's going to ask me how do I want to open it up. Oh, let's just say AbiWord. Should be some files in there. There should be a bunch of information in there. And probably, maybe I can't read it. Oh, it's taken a while, I think, to come up. It's a pretty big file, I think. Either that or AbiWord can't read it. Let's close it. Try opening it up with a text file. Open with other application. Whoops. Yeah, it's wanting to keep opening with AbiWord now. I haven't paying attention, and it probably set that. Let's go to the properties. Yeah, it set it to open with AbiWord. Maybe there's not a good text file reader. There's got to be at least one. So the other thing is the permissions. See, I can't. It's owned by root. So here, let's see. I think this is our problem now. Okay, make sure you're doing the right file. Okay, properties, permissions. Now let's change it from root to live user. Of course, normally it would be your live user. What's the difference there? LIVE. It's the same thing twice for some reason. Read only, read and write. Others, just say read only. That would be a good way to do that. Okay, now I guess on here you just could close it and it should do it. Sometimes there's like a button to say, do it. Okay, so. Okay, now it says open with LeafPad automatically. Figured it out. And LeafPad's a text editor. There it is, right there. Okay, now that's Anaconda. And this is very similar to those install scripts. Well, no, this is not the one. Not the right kind of file. This is part of the installs setup stuff. installation setup. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it is. It is the one. Okay, see this? This will this will install all this stuff. And that, I forgot what that A in front of it stands for. I think it's like another way to say group. I think it is. So these are these are what's going to get installed when you install the system, and all this other stuff is all the other actions that it's doing. This is what tells your installer what to do. And I've fooled around with trying to customize these and everything, and it's hard for me because there's just so much in there. But people do it. I mean, that's just how you do that. Let's see if AbiWord can see it now. Yeah, that was the only. It wasn't that AbiWord couldn't read it. It's actually more readable in here. It was because of the permission problem. But AbiWord, see how it blinks and does funky stuff? It's just kind of always been like that. And if it's a really big file, it will sometimes lock up and do stuff. I guess it's not really any better than it used to be in that respect. It's very similar to, OpenOffice or LibreOffice, but let's see. This goes at the end of all the changes. ch own r live user home, live user restore r home, live user eof end. Anyway, it doesn't tell you what that's doing, but it says %packages. Okay, so these are the packages that are going to get installed. So I think that just putting an @ in front of, well, it has to be the right thing. See, that's XFCE-office and so on and so on. Anyway, those are groups of apps. And but you got to know the right deal to do it right. So the other way with the that I showed in that's the way that they tell you to do it. So, but if you're doing a Anaconda Kickstart, that's Anaconda Kickstart CFG. That's a Kickstart file that runs in Anaconda, the installer, the distro installer. So now this is live system. Everything I've done here is going to go away when it gets rebooted. But so there you go. That's why I like Thunar. Second to Crusader, but I really like Crusader. But if you're in a distro, and you can't get the file manager to open up, you need to do some stuff like that, and it won't work in KJ, CAJA. You can't open it up with root privileges. You just get errors. So you can just go and do DNF or yum. DNF install, yum install Thunar right quick, and or use the GUI app if you want, like that, and install Thunar. Oh, that's going to take all that time to look for updates, I bet. Yeah, because I hadn't done that on this system yet, I don't think. Maybe I did. I don't remember. But anyway, you know what? That's all right, really. Runs pretty fast, too. So there's another option then that I could do, looking back. I could do this one right here, 64-bit XFCE Fedora 26. Yeah, Fedora 26, x86, 64. There's what it is right there. I could put that on the laptop. A couple of times I went and said, okay, I'm going to just go with the bang, on a system. And then I started using it, and I was like, got hung up on drivers and stuff. And ended up go read about how to do it, and it's like do all this long, convoluted, terminal stuff. And the other thing is, the package manager is aptitude, and you have to type get hyphen get, what is it? Dash get. Can't say it right. Trying to think, what will I use to? I was going to type it out so that I wouldn't. There we go. AbiWord. I guess I could do it just do it in the terminal, couldn't I? Well, I know I can't because I'm doing all that. It'd be apt dash get say Thunar, like that. That's what you would have to be typing. And then when you get into anything like, earlier I was doing, DNF list and all that stuff. Well, I don't really, sometimes you have to have let's say I wanted to list all the Yum apps, well, not Yum, but say everything to do with Thunar. So it would be like, but I think you might have to do actually like that, slash dash list, and then I think it's something like that. I'm not even sure. So close without saving. So I don't even know why I opened this up, but I did all this a while ago. Let's say if we did search for, there's Thunar. There's a lot of add-ons and all kinds of things to go with it, and a lot of them are pretty cool too. So you know, if you did get Thunar and you liked using it, then you might want to look into the add-ons and stuff that goes with it. Things that make it like do previews of images and maybe even video files and stuff right there in the file browser. You know, these are all Thunar and KJ. That's the one I'm talking about right there. Now, see, that's the one that comes in Mate, and I don't know if it's, yeah, see, it's not installed. So that's the one. Look, there's even more for it. There's quite a few that look like Windows Explorer. And Crusader, there it is. And I'm not going to hit, you can't install stuff, but that's, if you install that, then it will need some, it's a KDE app, so it's going to need some KDE. I'm not going to even do it because it just locks this thing up. It needs some KDE dependencies. But what I usually do is just go ahead and install the whole KDE desktop anyway, because I always want to have 2 or even 3 desktops on my systems, because sometimes things break, and if you break your desktop, sometimes your desktop breaks, and you can just at the logon screen there, you can log into a different desktop and fix it. Or for sometimes you just want to do something in a different desktop. Maybe you just, well, if you don't know which one you like, you're going to want to try a few out, you know. So that's all right. I like this. Yeah. So if I was see those commands I was talking about. Oh, this is Fedora, not Debian. I can't do that. I was fixing to start typing an aptitude command, try to see if I was right about that. Try them out, but you can't try them out in there. Okay. So, I think I will, what was my idea? I was going to, download the 64-bit of Debian and all that, and show using Unetbootin. Let me close this. Now here, normally, you know, you'd want to use the regular shutdown, just like a regular machine. So I'll just leave that like it is. But yeah, I don't think I have anything installed on the virtual hard drive at all. Verse drive, there is host drive. Oh, that's the DVD. Where's the virtual drive. You have to have a virtual drive. So there's a virtual drive there. It just doesn't have anything installed on it, like XP there. So getting tired. I did not really ever dream I would go this long. That's 2 hours and 44 minutes. Okay, so go in here. What was I saying about Debian? Oh, I'm going to my downloads. This is my backup drive where I keep everything. So I have Debian. I only have Debian 8.7 i386 with Mate desktop. And I started to download it, and I thought, wait, why don't I use, because I had realized the other day that Unetbootin was a real good way to put it on a stick. Now, Unetbootin is going to write things, so it needs privileges. I'm not going to do it. I just wanted to show it right quick. Okay, so here's Unetbootin in Fedora 23. It may look a little different. Look, makes it too spread out like that. It may look a little different in Fedora 25 or something, but and it will run on Windows. I do have the Windows executable downloaded, so I have it in a different folder. But what you do here, I don't have a USB drive even plugged in, so the only thing is my USB hard drive. And actually, it's seeing, I don't know if it's seeing it or not as a drive. Oh, I think it's going to see it as a hard disk because that's what it is, but it's a USB hard disk. But anyway, I definitely don't want to do that. But and what I would do to be safe is unplug that thing. If you have any USB drives, hard drives, backup drives like I do, then unplug them before you start doing this stuff. But you would select, so you can just select a distro that you want. And but I don't know if you're going to get to select the different architecture that you want. There's quite a few in here, but it does want it. Some of them will do multiple distros, but this one just does one. But that's good for installing. That's really the kind you want. It'll do Fedora, but you can't install from Fedora anymore using Unetbootin. You used to could, but they changed the way it works. And I mean, if you just want to try out distros and you don't know what they are, you can just do it. Just put them on a stick and try them out. Especially if you're just using a USB stick, then you're not wasting DVDs or CDs or anything. I usually want to read about them first and see, what they are before I just go to the trouble. But if I was going to do Debian, and when see if you click on it, then it'll give you the link to the website. You can go there and look at it. And okay, yeah, stable net install. Okay, yeah, here you go. You can pick what kind you want. So what I would be doing is let's see if it has what I would want. Oh, testing unstable. So if it doesn't tell you the version numbers, but so I think unstable would be like the nightly builds probably. Testing would probably be Debian 9. I'm going to say. Stable HD media. It doesn't have the one I have, the live one. So this is going to be installs only. Net install would be just a very basic small, like 300, 400 megabytes, and everything will be downloaded from the. And HD media is going to be the like the DVD is what they're saying. That's what they used to call it, DVD. I guess since mostly people are using USBs now, they're changing the way they say it. So this would be 32-bit and this would be 64-bit. Then testing, I don't know if that's the newest 8 or 9, which one it's going to be. Then unstable, I'm going to say would be 9, probably. And I don't want to do it right. Well, it will download it for you, though. That's what it'll do. And or you can pick a disk image that you already have, ISO or floppy. Floppy would be IMG files, and I think maybe there's another one. And then you would go to your drive and get it, which is the way I generally always did it, because I downloaded them from the website, got exactly the one I wanted. And in this case, I'm going to have to go ahead and go and do that. So, when I get ready to do that, I will be going back to the main website. I don't want to do it right now because I'm tired and I think I'm ready to quit. And besides, the video is so darn long. But I thought I would just, let's see, I think that was hours and hours ago when I was on the Debian website, so I don't think that's going to be in my history. So, get my bookmarks open. Yeah, things are moving a little slow. This machine's had enough of all this good stuff. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I'd want 8 or 9, but well, let's see. I think that's been sorted by the ABCs, and then maybe I'll see it. Let's just go to let's go there first. Trying to find the quickest link to the downloads page, and that wasn't it. probably on getting Debian there. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so the small image, that's when the net install is 64 and 32-bit, and then the larger complete installation image, see, DVD, 32, 64-bit. Try before installing, that's the live image that I've been booting up to. And this has 64 and 32-bit. And what I have there is 32, and I want 64. Now, if there's a quick way to get to 9. I have links for 9, so let's see. I don't know if this is it or not. 8.8 is what's up right now. What's their official? I don't remember where where the download links were for 9. I don't know that I'd want to skip up to 9. I'd probably go with 8. And well, I won't go into all that. The true i386, they're dropping support for that now, but 580, and I think 486 too, but 586 and up it supports in 9. Yeah, dropping the older 32. It said dropping the old 32-bit hardware, and I was like, oh no. Then I went and read it, and it was talking about, it says they're going to drop the older i386 architecture processor supported Debian 9. And 686 and up. Let's see. This means dropping support for 586. So that would be, I think Pentium 4s are 586, if I remember right. And I think like Core 2s are 686, if I remember right. So that would be something to consider depending on what your machine is. And Debian is what I've got Pentium 3s out there that I've got Debian like 4 and 4 or 5 on. I think one of them, there's a 350 megahertz and 500 megahertz out in the garage, and you know, 5, I think 5. It might be Debian 6. I can't remember, but anyway, the older distros on the slower one, and then and they run fine. They just, you know, of course, they have the older Firefox and really, if I want to actually do looking anything up on the internet, I will VNC into my machine here in the house to control it and do it that way. But other things, you can do them just fine out there. Play music, run VLC, and play internet radio and stuff. While I was outside and working in the garage and stuff. So, yeah, I didn't see the download links. I saw them earlier today. I don't know where they are now. Thought I did. I thought I saw that. Maybe I was just looking at the 8s because that's what I was interested in. But anyway, somewhere you could go and you can download Debian 9. And but I kind of think what I would want is 864-bit for my laptop. If I was going to put one on there, I would. Matter of fact, I think I'll download it, so I'll have it done. Let's see. But I'll just go ahead and get the live one because that is basically when you go to do the install. I think it's pretty much got everything that you'd have on this one here, the complete installation. And I already clicked. Yeah, this downloads it through. Well, these are the torrents, so it doesn't give you an ISO, it gives you a torrent. So you got to have a torrent downloader. And then you got to. Oh yeah, this is this is all the 8 versions. So I would want Mate, and I already clicked on this earlier today and did my right click. Well, actually, if you just click on it, I'll hold down Control to make it open up in a new tab. I can scan it with Virus Total by doing that, but I already did that and it was clean. So you do that, and then it should. Let's see. I guess you'll have to tell it to open up. Let me see. I want the checksums as well. Don't remember which one I want. Just get them both. You click on them and they'll do that. So then I just hit save like that. and MD5s, SHA, can't even remember. Well, that should be good right there. But that's all the sums for all the different ISOs. But that should be good. Now, let me go. You can do it like that in your browser, but what I'm going to do is go into my, let's see, I'm going to make those the same so that I can end up putting that in that folder. Oh, I already have this, probably all the sums anyway. Okay, now here's my downloads folder. No, that's on my, got to make sure I get on my local drive. Now there's the sums, and here's the ISO torrent. Now that's not the ISO, that's just the torrent. So I'm just going to move those over there. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to overwrite that checksum file. Now, there's the ISO torrent for the 64-bit. Now I'm going to right-click and say Open with. Transmission is the BitTorrent client that I use. That's what I wanted to make sure of. Okay, but it's going to download. It's going to download to my downloads folder, but that's good. I don't want to change that. And once it gets downloaded, then I will move it over to where I want it. It shouldn't take very long. And here's, see, one of the last things I downloaded with it was the other domain. I think it's going to download that one again too. No, it's not downloading it. It's just seeding it. No, it is downloading. Oh, that's it. Well, what's 386? Is it doing it too? Sometimes I don't remember to take old. See, once you move them, then it sees that it's not there, so it starts downloading it again. But if you remember to tell the torrent app not to, tell it where it's at, where you moved it to, then it won't do that anymore. It'll just seed it. These here, I probably never did do that, and they're red. They can't. I'm actually not sure. Yeah, uploaded, see? So that's trying to seed it. Set location. So I'm not going to fool with them right now. I'm so tired I don't even hardly know what's going on. But yeah, it looks like I'm downloading my other one I already had again. I don't see it showing up in here. Oh, there it is. That's Live 8 64-bit. You know what? I think I'm just confused. I think that's just two lines of the same. No, that says i386. Oh, I think those are seeding. Yeah, that one's seeding. I don't know why it's not on the top, though. 8.7 i386. That one's confusing me. It really is. That one there. Oh, it's finished. There's what's wrong. When you're not clicked on it, it doesn't show up right. Oh, what's up with that? Oh, no. Oh, you don't want to click on it. Seeding. There, it's finally seeding. Okay, so I did change the location, and so what it's doing is seeding. It's sharing that file back with everybody else that's downloading. And usually I try to leave the transmission BitTorrent open until it finishes. I have it set to seed for so long, like share the file 3 times or something. If it's, I figured out, like, I don't want to go into it now. I'm tired. But anyway, the default can be like a couple of weeks worth of seeding or something. So I change it down to a bit shorter than that because I don't have this, want to have that app running all the time. I'm running a web server and my own website, and I don't want more bandwidth up. I don't have but 4 megabits up, 60 down and 4 up, so I can't do a whole lot of upload seeding, So I try to like share, like have it. I think it's done now, but I'll leave it and let it seed. And I'm gonna get off of this video and go do some stuff, and then after a while I'll shut it down. But yeah, it tells you now. See, it's going to seed for a day. Now it's going to seed for 21 hours. It'll seed for 12 hours, and it's going down. So however I have it set for. But a lot of times it takes a lot longer than that before it's actually finished. It goes to a certain, somehow they measure it, like how much of it's been shared to peers. But see, there's peers. It's seeding right now. It's downloaded, and now I'm sharing it. And it's finished. This one is seeding. Remaining time unknown. I don't know. It might change after a while, but I think if you close the app and then open it back up, it loses some of that information that it had in there and doesn't know quite what to do. There's times when I was trying to go ahead and seed, and I couldn't get it working, and I got tired of fooling with it. Like these here, I don't know. They're probably just the file's gone because I moved it. But yeah, I won't move the file or anything until it's seeded at least a while, But I'm not gonna leave the machine running for 11 hours though. I'm gonna leave it running another 30 minutes probably, and then shut the whole machine down. So, whoops. We'll put this in a different desktop so that I don't forget and close it. I usually do, just leave it somewhere like that. And let it seed away for a while. Now it changed again to 9 hours. But, yeah, if you never use a BitTorrent, all Linux distros come with some sort of BitTorrent app. And I love this desktop background. That is the coolest picture ever. I think it's kind of a famous picture or something. This is a real young lady working in the factory back in World War II, I believe. Yeah, not one. I believe that's World War II. While all the men were off to war, the ladies took over and built all the bomber jets, not jets, B-52. No, not B-52s. That was like P-38s or whatever. Anyway, they built the bombs and the airplanes and all that stuff. I knew some ladies when I used to work at General Dynamics in Fort Worth, Texas, back in the 80s. And I knew some men and ladies that worked. Some of those ladies got a job and they never quit. They kept working there all their life. And back then, they were building the bombers and stuff. And anyway, they could tell you some history. And we were building, we worked on F-111s. We did some, maintenance repair work on them, but we were building the F-16s back then. And now that's an old one. The F-16's an old one now. So anyway, doing her thing there. But it is seeding, but it doesn't know how long it's going to keep seeding. And it tells you how much it's just uploaded, 1.9 gigabyte. Oh, it's 226 megabytes of 1.9 gigabyte. Ratio gold 2. Okay, yeah. See, ratio 0.1 gold 2.0. This one says ratio 0 gold 2.0. So yeah, there's that percentage type thing. The ratio, I guess that 2.0 means I'm sharing it twice the 1.9. The 1.05 gigabytes is shared twice, and then it'll quit automatically. I think that's what it means. So I'm not sure. Yeah, this is the way most of your Linux distros used to have their downloads. Debian is still doing that. They actually said they're going to change it. Well, used to you could go to FTP. See, now they were saying they're going to change it, so you can still go here like this and right-click on the links or just click on them. I always right-click on them. I did forget to. Oh yeah, when you're doing the torrent, you can't right-click and you can't do the virus scan on the actual ISO though, or the Dr. Web, either one. You can check the torrent, so you definitely want to use the checksums and all that. I don't know if I guess it wouldn't matter. I may already have all those checksums. Let's see. Yeah, SHA-256. I don't have the 512. Yeah, I do, right there. So I've already got all that for the Debian 8. So that should be okay. I saved them before whenever I download that other one. Now, you don't have to download it from there. You can just click on these other links. Let's see. No, I think that will take you to a page like that. Let's see. Oh, it's going to go ahead and do it. Yeah. So it depends on what link you click on as to where that takes you. But yeah, if you wouldn't, if you didn't already know, if you hadn't learned, I figured it's not hard to figure out. I mean, I got to the page and like, what's all this? First time I ever saw one of those, and I figured it out, you know. Well, I did already know how to. The original way to download stuff was like that. You know, it was a file list, and you'd either click on it and download it, or right-click on it and say Save As. You know, that was what you had to do. As a matter of fact, my music site, I was talking about it earlier. My music site, that's how it is. So that's and that's the way we always did it. The pictures were your links, you know, so you had to be smart enough to know that. I've seen people go there and write me back and say, well, how do you get to the page? How do you download? So here's my songs. Now you can, if you just click on them, it's just going to play them. It's going to be loud. But if you want to download it, and you right click and you say, now to be safe, you'd say scan with virus total if you have that add-on, or check with Dr. Webb. But as far as saving the file, you would say save link as in this case, and it would download it just like that. So yeah, these are my music. I don't know if I think I was talking about doing music and stuff earlier. That's my music website. That's my newest 2005 album, and that's my oldest 2002 album. And that's old school HTML. I don't have any. I actually was rebuilding the sites quite a few years ago in PHP, and you know, I don't remember which version of website that I was doing it on, but then I got to where I couldn't afford to keep paying GoDaddy for all those servers, so then I learned to set up my own servers. And so then I never got around to setting it up with a dynamic, not PHP, but dynamic website. I wasn't using PHP. But Drupal was the one I was going to use. But so anyway, let that keep going. And my laptop went to sleep over there. Guess it got tired of waiting on me. Oh, 3 hours and 7 minutes. But the stream still works after all that time. That's really good. OBS Studio is really good now. So, that's plenty of rambling on about junk today. Wow. Okay, so this is dawn, and I'm going to go now. Way past 2 hours past time to go. All right, it's done. And what I am planning on doing is probably doing a video with putting, I'll still use Unetbootin to put that ISO on USB stick, and I may go ahead and install it on the laptop. We'll see. I'll probably fool around with that laptop some more. I don't want to erase it until I'm sure I don't like it the way it is. All right. See you later. Bye-bye.